Whoa! It's me! What's going on? Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing, gang? Well, listen. That should be quieter now. That music that you heard there. I was listening to the VOD last night. I was watching the VOD that I uploaded last night, and holy shit, the music at the start of streams has been so loud compared to my voice. So I've changed all that now. So it should be less loud. It should be more the level at which you're hearing me now. So hopefully that's the case. If not, I don't know. I'll look at it tonight and we'll see what's going on. But welcome everybody. What's going on? Started a little bit late again tonight. So we're going to get straight into the stream. We're going to get straight into the news. We're covering the news today. We've got a little bit of Twitter stuff to look at as well, which is technically the news. It's part of the news segment as well. So we're going to jump into the politics section in a bit. But I do just want to say hello to everyone in the chat first. Johnny, hello. How's it going? Can everybody please go follow Just Johnny? Lovely lad. We got Cynthia Citrus. We got Birdie Blake. Hello, Birdie. We got Half a Laptop. Hello. I'm glad you got a day off. Let's go. Layla, how are you doing? Survided. Hello, hello, hello. We got Rebel Firestorm. Hi. We got To Kill a Lizard. Hello. Lyra and friends. Everybody go follow Lyra as well. There we go. Shout out for Lyra and friends. And we got Huskadoo. We've also got... Who else? Who else is here? B-Rat. Goblin Hugger. Oh my god. Got these wonderful streamers. All these wonderful streamers watching a stream. Like my stream. What's that about? Cyberquaker, hello, how are you doing? Layla says, the beard's looking extra luscious today, djmuel. I disagree. I think it looks like a load of straw. It looks like someone got some glue and a load of straw and just glued that to my face. I think that's what it looks like. But I'm glad you like it. That's great. That's great. Good for you. You didn't miss the start stream. Hello, Middle-earth Marxist. How are you? Gotta learn from the best. I'm by far not the best streamer at all. No fucking shot. Not even slightly. But I appreciate that. It's a nice compliment. Right, listen, chat. What we've got today. Content warning for anti-Semitism, racism, cults, and deportations. That's the stuff that we're going to look at the start of the stream. Obviously, the standard content warning for war and violence is going to come in when we watch the news, the top US and world headlines from Democracy Now! But that's what we've got for the time being, and yep, let's go. Cults, my favorite. Fuck yes. No, I don't think that will be what you're saying in a minute when you see what I've got to talk about. I don't think that you're going to be saying that. Okay. Let's take off the music. Let's get straight into this chat. We're jumping in the politics section, so be mindful. We're going to have a lot of weird guys coming in, I think, in a minute. So just be wary of that. Here we go. It's Tulsi Gabbard. Oh my god. Who could believe it? The person that Joe Rogan said that he was going to vote for in the Democratic primaries. Tulsi Gabbard with her own version of why I left the left today, complete with anti-Semitic dog whistle, general dog whistle wokeness, and just bizarre pandering to the right wing. I don't know where this has come from, really. It didn't really seem... Sort of seemed like a... excuse me, like a progressive candidate a couple of years ago. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. I don't know. Rick and Morty had a great parody of Rogan on Sunday's episode. Maybe I should start watching Rick and Morty again, because my partner was watching Rick and Morty. And I'm just not really like... yeah, I'm not really bothered. But if they've got a good... you know, if there's a parody of Joe Rogan and it's a good sort of anti-Joe Rogan parody, I'm down to check that out. Sugary Senpai, hello, what's going on? And Scully, hello, how are you doing? What's going on? Let's get a shout out there for Scully. How are you doing? There you go. This season ain't great. I mean, all the previous seasons weren't great for me either, but you know, yeah, if you're not liking this season, then well, anyway. I think it's a bit of both. You know what I mean? I think that some people got some enjoyment out of it. I think some people are like, yeah, about it. So, I don't know. I'll reserve judgment for when I watch it myself. Hey, Descrotter, how are you doing? What's going on, love? Hey, Buddy Bebop. Oh, yeah, it's fucked. This sentence is fucked. So let's read what she's written here. This is Tulsi Gabbard. I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that is now under the complete control of an elitist cabal. Where have we heard that before, folks? An elitist cabal. If you don't know, if you actually don't know where we've heard that before, Hitler said it. Hitler said it. Elitist cabal of warmongers driven by cowardly wokeness. What is cowardly wokeness? If you're talking about, like, I don't even need to fucking talk about that. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's like, oh, you know, all these people who stand up for LGBTQIA plus rights and stand up for black people's civil rights and indigenous civil rights. Oh, it's cowardly. Yeah, it's cowardly. That's what it is. It's such a cowardly position to take when you put yourself out there and say these things. And fucking idiots like Tulsi Gabbard come straight in and call you a wokeoid, a wokist, if you will. Who divide us by racializing every issue. That doesn't happen. It's made up. Made up. Stoke anti-white racism. Not a thing. Literally not a thing. It doesn't exist. What are you on about? Anti-white racism. God damn it. I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day when I apply for a job and they go, well, actually, you sound a bit white, so probably not. When that happens, then I'll believe it. I'll believe that anti-white racism exists. But it doesn't. So that's that. Undermine our God-given freedoms. Well, God doesn't... When has God said that? Where's your proof that God has given you the freedom to be a racist? Anyway, let's hear what she's got to say. Because actually, she does say things. It's like a press release with this and everything. Hey, Kumatori, how you doing?
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic...
Oh, she just says the same stuff again.
Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness.
You could tell she doesn't believe a single fucking word of it as well. This is the worst thing about these fuckers, and I hate it. It's so ridiculous. Like, the way... Look at the way that she is fucking talking to you, man. I know, they racialize everything, like followed by the phrase anti-white racism. What did you just do? What did you do? You just did that. You did the thing that you say that we do. Why I left the left. Is she being paid for this? I do not doubt for a second that there are Republican Party donators, yeah, lobbyists, that are absolutely dying for more Democrats to do this, and they will give them a lot of money for it. I don't believe it. I don't believe... well, I do believe it. I do believe it. That's what I'm trying to say. Absurd. Hey, Shafiq, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, this is just, it's exactly the same as these, like, Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald nonsense videos of, like, why I left the left, like Dave Rubin, you know?
Who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism. Who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution.
Oh, okay, so she goes on to say more stuff. God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution. Okay. All right.
Who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality.
When? When has that been a thing? The right wing are far more hostile to people of faith than any leftist. Literally. Like, literally. You know? She'll for sure get more paid spots on Tucker. Oh, yeah, she will.
Who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans.
It's not really true, is it? It's not really true.
Who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state.
The Democrats don't do any of this. The Democratic Party doesn't do any of this that she's talking about. All this, like, woke nonsense. She doesn't do any of it. It's made up. Does she have a podcast or something? Because the production quality is pretty good in this video. Listen, she's a Democratic Party fucking... She's got a lot of money, hasn't she? But hello, Jen. How's it going? Shafiq, can I get a shout out for Jenza, please? Hello, Jen. Is she going to mention how conservatives demonize Muslims? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to see that.
To go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war.
I mean, I do, I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't know, you know, I feel like that's like a both sides issue. I think that Putin and the Democratic Party of the United States, especially Joe Biden, are sort of, you know, responsible for that. I think this is a much bigger issue than just like the Democratic Party. You know, like we literally spoke about last night how Trump wanted to nuke a hurricane. So, all right, Tulsi, go off, Queen.
Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people.
So, you believe in the one that was elected, then? Is that what you mean?
Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite.
I mean, that's true.
Calling on my fellow commons.
Risk Inverse, hello.
Hello, chat. Hello, Mule Laughing Face.
Thank you so much for the 7 months, Laughing Face. Thank you so much, Risk Inverse. Appreciate that.
Sense independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party.
What? And do what?
You can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, and I invite you to join me.
Where are they taking the country? What are you on about? And join you where? Join you where? What are you on about? What is she on about? Where is she on about? It's just, if she's going to join the Republican Party as a result of this, she's got absolutely no leg to stand on. You can't take that seriously whatsoever. Nonsense. Complete nonsense. So there we go, chat. Country back. She's basically doing country back. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Hello, Frozen Basalt. How's it going? Oh my goodness. Is that a name? Yeah, you've been here. You have been here once before. Welcome in. How are you doing? I don't know how well she'll do, but with that calm cadence, she'll get paid to make insane ideas sound reasonable. Yeah, absolutely. She will. She will. She will. Oh, absurd. Anyway, that's Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know. There's other stuff here. She says all the stuff that she says in the video there, I guess.
I can no longer...
Shut up, I don't care. Fuck off. Anyway. So that's Tulsi Gabbard. We might as well carry on with the ridiculous shit. We might as well, while we're looking at things that are utterly unhinged and just anti-Semitic in nature. We've got the Jewish Chronicle here talking about the Ye stuff. Ye was wearing a shirt that said White Lives Matter with Candace Owens the other day or the other week. I don't know. Can't remember. But the Jewish Chronicle here talking about Kanye West and saying, yay gods, give Kanye a break. So Kanye West, who tweeted, mind you, tweeted that he's going to go DEFCON 5? Was it DEFCON 5 or whatever? The DEFCON 9 or DEFCON 5 or whatever shite. Against Jewish people. Right? The Jewish Chronicle is like, oh, give him a break. DEFCON 3, whatever. Yeah, DEFCON 3. Give him a break. Oh, just give him a break. You know, that open anti-Semitism that was quite clearly anti-Semitic in every shape and form. You know, just give him a break. Oh, give him a break. But Jeremy Corbyn, for supporting Palestinians' right to autonomy and to live safely in their native country, he was irredeemable. Absolutely irredeemable. Literally. You can't, like, unquestionably, he's basically the same as Hitler. Won't somebody please think of how Kanye feels in all this? Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Jewish Chronicle is, you know, not the best. Not the best at all in sort of talking about Jewish issues and what actually faces, you know, Jewish people, right? Layla, appreciate that you might not speak, that your mother tongue might not be English or whatever, but if you could just keep chat to English, that'd be ideal, because now what I've got to do is I've got to pause the entire stream and go and translate what you've said. Yeah, you might be able to say, oh, that says down with Israel, but I've got to make sure that that's right, because I have to moderate my chat. Do you know what I mean? So I've literally got to go on Google Translate now and figure out what that says. All right. Arabic. No, it's fine, but like... Right, okay, yeah, it does say that. Yeah, all right, that's fine. But please, in future, let's keep it in English so that we don't have to... Do you know what I mean? It just causes such a pain for the moderators. And it's not really a good look either. Do you know what I mean? Like, the idea that you might have to, like, hide what you're saying. People might come across that and be like, why are they talking in different languages? What's that about? Are they trying to... You know what I mean? And shit like that. Anyway, that's the end of that. Anyway, absolutely shit. A lot of people do think about how he feels, but it also does not excuse any of his behavior. No, it doesn't. No, not at all. Not at all. Hey, Cassie, what's going on? Welcome in. Most people go for DEFCON 5 because it sounds like the worst one. Nerds go for DEFCON 1 because it's the worst one. Very strange to pick DEFCON 3. I don't even know what the escalation of 1, 2, or 3 is. I don't really know what it means. I just know that it's bad. When I saw that Ye tweet, I genuinely thought it was fake because it was so unhinged. I mean, look, there's a nuanced sort of like discussion that's going on at the minute, like in some circles about this, but there's other sort of more sort of like they're trying to put this in black and white terms, sort of like saying like, listen, I know that Kanye West is mentally ill, but that doesn't make you anti-Semitic and stuff like that. No, of course it doesn't. Being mentally ill does not make you anti-Semitic. It doesn't make you a bigot or anything like that. But it can give you delusions. It can do that. Do you know what I mean? If I can be deluded by my mental illness to think that the oven is on when it's quite clearly not, and I can see it with my eyes, and I've checked it 500 times, and I think that it's still on or still capable of turning on its own, I can absolutely believe that someone could have delusions about, like, you know, shit that you hear in the newspaper and stuff. Because, like, you know, anti-Semitism is fucking everywhere in the US, especially in the people that fucking Kanye associates with, right? So there's every chance that he's, you know, experiencing a delusion in this regard. But there's also every chance that he's just being fucking bigoted on his own. So that's my sort of nuanced take regarding this. Doesn't excuse it. Doesn't make it any better. It's just horrible. It's just a horrible scenario the whole way around, right? He should be getting help, and I wish he did. I wish he would get help because he's got the fucking money to do that. But of course, the people that are around him and are egging him on, right? You know. It's just not good. If I remember FD signifiers on video on him correctly, Kanye seems to do controversial things for attention. Could be wrong, though. I could get behind that as well. Like, there's all sorts of different possibilities that this could be. I think that pontificating upon, like, why he said these things is a waste of time, personally. I think that it's important to sort of say, like, he's said some horrible stuff, and that's not good, and he shouldn't be allowed to do that. And that's it, really, at the end of the day. But it's just, like, stressful when people bring up his mental health and be like, oh, he's saying this because he's not well and stuff like that. It's like, shut up, like, just, you know, ridiculous. Anyway, there's every chance that he might be saying it because he's unwell, but it doesn't mean he should be allowed to fucking say it, you know. Anyway, just ridiculous. So yeah, that's that. Hey Stalker, what's going on? Wait, he ruined the Oscars, the most important thing in the world? Wait, what are you on about? Oh, Will Smith. Will Smith does not deserve a second chance because he did the slap, but Kanye's fine. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck do you mean? I was like, oh yeah, Will Smith, right. What's JC, may I ask? JC is the Jewish Chronicle. It's the name of the paper. So that's that, basically. But apparently in this in this article, Dominic Green here, the journalist in question, is like, the road to rehabilitation is long, and if anyone can, Kanye can. So just have to, like, you know, look, I agree with this. I agree with this. I agree with this statement. But it's not fair. Right? He's not giving, like, you know, there's other people who've written for the Jewish Chronicle who've not given Jeremy Corbyn a good rap. Not given plenty of people a good rap. A good rap? Is that the right word to say? I don't know. A good sort of chance to sort of be like, you know, okay, you know, I've said some stupid stuff in the past, or I've supported some stupid things, anti-Semitic things, but, you know, that's... I want to get better and stuff like, you know, because Jeremy Corbyn was more than willing to hold people to account in the Labour Party for anti-Semitism, supposed anti-Semitism. But, you know, Kanye West literally talking about how he wants to actually harm Jewish people. That's fine. It's fine. I agree that everyone can get better and everyone can get rehabilitated, but I just don't... this is absurd. This is the article that Dominic Green wrote last year. Corbynization of the Democrats has led to street attacks on Jews. The radical left sets the pace and tone, the soft left simpers along, and the party leadership rides the tiger into office. What do you want about? This motherfucker said Democrats. Hey, Juliet, what's going on? Welcome in. Having an insane dinner, though. Co-op have oven pulled pork and korma reduced. Nice. That sounds nice. That sounds nice. Yeah. Hey, Beanie Gaby, how you doing? Just full of bad sentences. You're a demi-cat? You're a demon cat? Yeah, you know, it's just so ridiculous. Corbynization of the Democrats. There's nothing Jeremy Corbyn about the Democratic Party in the USA. There's nothing about that. So after that, this is why I've got the content warning for cults in this bit. I did not know that this was a thing, but apparently, right? I had my first HRT consultation today, and it went well. Hey, good to hear it, Discrotter. Let's hope it continues to go well. Good to hear it. Shadowy order of felines behind the Dems. Yeah, that's right, buddy. Yeah. God damn it. I don't know what you said to trigger my Google Home, but he just told me he's up to much. Not up to much? Oh, that's odd. Hello, Google Home. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Oh, fuck. Everyone's Google is going to go off, isn't it? Hey, Smutty Baba Yaga. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Right, anyway. So, I didn't know that this was a thing at all, right? But apparently Kanye West opened a Christian private school called Donda Academy, and parents must sign NDAs to have their children attend. It's 15 grand a year. The school's not accredited, and there's a video here apparently. I'm just like, what is happening? Like, what is going on? I've not watched this yet, so I don't know. Oh, this is from Ye's TikTok. This is literally his TikTok.
Good morning, Donda. 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 Good morning. Good morning, Donda. Good morning, Donda. Good morning.
I mean, this is pretty good, to be fair. Like, the singing and the choral effort going on here is pretty good. Hey, Semiotic, how you doing? Why are they saying good morning to his dead mum? He's got like a bit of an obsession with her, hasn't he? From what I've heard. I don't know much about Kanye Way's... Kanye, I get confused because I've never, like, I didn't know he was calling himself Ye, but like he is, and I'm used to calling him Kanye, so like Kanye West, Kanye Way. I don't know much about Ye's mum or anything like that. I don't know what the Donda album was all about. I heard it was bad, you know? Rebecca Newman, wife of Adam Newman, ran an unaccredited school during the height of their grift. I just genuinely can't believe it. If you have to sign an NDA to send a child to school, that should count as child abuse in and of itself. I agree. I think that's terrible. I think that's terrible safeguarding. You know? What the fuck is that about? So ridiculous. Are they saying good morning, God? No, they're saying good morning, Donda. It is fucked up. This is fucked up. It's weird as fuck. Like, I want to just do a bit more research on this because, you know, I don't like the idea of like a black guy being like very focused in the media at the minute and like maybe people are lying about him. So I kind of want to make sure that this is like real. So I don't know. Let's just do a quick like Google. What's it supposedly called? Donda Academy? I just want to make sure this is actually, like, real. Oh, no, it is. Oh, no, it is. Oh, it is real. Oh, no. I genuinely was hoping that this was just nonsense. Using an ethic of integrity and care, Donda Academy prepares students to become the next generation of leaders, thinkers, and innovators by providing them with a world-class education that includes a rigorous core curriculum, emphasis on sustainability, creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving. The student experience. Our project-based learning model allows students to guide instruction based on their interests and skills. We promote ideation, prototyping, real-world implementation. Donda students growing their faith and community through a daily all-school worship and celebration at Sunday service. So it's Christian. I don't know if it's fair to call it a cult. Is it a cult? I don't know. Like, how do we tell? Look, this is the issue, gang. This is the problem with the organized religion. How do we tell this apart from just a religious school? I don't know. Do they wear those robes? Hey, Creepshow, what's going on? Christian and critical thinking do not mix. I disagree with that. I want to push back on that a little bit. I don't think it's right for us to assume that every single person that identifies as Christian is incapable of critical thinking, in the same way that I wouldn't want to assume that every Muslim is incapable of critical thinking. But I do know what you mean. Christo-fascist sort of people, you know, don't really tend to engage in critical thinking. So, yeah. Yeah, the signing of NDAs feels pretty cultish, yeah. Cults are usually based on Christianity. This is true, yeah. Mm-hmm. Could be a cult, might not be. We'll probably need to check in 10 years with support groups formed by this school's alumni. This is the fucking crux of the matter, isn't it? How is anyone supposed to safeguard these kids in a private institution where everybody has to sign NDAs? How is this supposed to happen? All right, Shafiq, see you in a bit. Thank you for being here. You know, like, this is semiotics, right? And you know, it's just. Oh, God. I don't know. Rough shit, man. Are NDAs applicable if crimes are committed? Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, you know, it depends, like, what's going to happen if you... It depends what the entire contract is about, because an NDA is not necessarily just like an NDA. There will be stipulations in that contract, right? Do you know what I mean? So it depends what's stipulated in there. Even as a private school, they should be regularly inspected, right? I mean, I wouldn't put it past the USA to not have regular inspections of schools. Hey, Adrenaline, how you doing? Welcome in. The We Work, We Grow school? What's this? Oh, yeah, this one? The Rebecca Newman thing? Adam Newman and his wife, Rebecca Newman, started a private schoolhouse inside their Manhattan, Chelsea neighborhood. School and its goals were depicted in the Apple TV Plus show We Crashed. Stars Jared Leto, yikes, and Anne Hathaway as Rebecca. It's based on the podcast series of the same name. Leaving students and parents in a lurch? What the fuck? I don't know anything about this, but yeah, sounds just as bad. I think there's a cult criteria list, and not all cults have a single charismatic leader. This one certainly seems to, though. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's ticking off a lot of the boxes. It's ticking off a lot of the boxes, you know? Jared Leto and Ye are so alike. Well, listen, I heard some unhinged shit, unhinged allegations about... no, the allegations weren't unhinged, but like, you know. I heard some allegations about Kanye West today, sort of like talking about how like he slept with trans women and made them sign NDAs and shit like that too. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It's just not good in general, you know? Anyway, what do we got next? Let's get rid of that. So carrying on with the bad news, 3 protesters who have been charged with offensive carrying max sentences of life imprisonment. That's right, describe. That's what I was trying to get at, yeah. Life imprisonment for blocking Jamaica deportations last November. We covered this last year, chat. Trial will be held at Lewes Crown Court on 30th of May 2023 for 7 days. Attendance welcomed. Please support them. Now, chat, you know, thanks to, you know, wonderful chatters, looking at you, Discrotter, looking at all the other people who have supported me this month and got me to beyond the donation goal, beyond the donation goal for my living costs for November. Because of that, this is what I'm going to ask you to try and support today, if you can. Donate to the GoFundMe. Let's check out the GoFundMe real quick. I just want to make sure that I'm not doxing myself by having a look at this, because I know that my... Oh, no, okay, I'm not signed in here, so let's take a little look at this. So let's take a little look here at what's going on. On the 9th of November 2021, a group of protesters took direct action to delay a charter flight that's been due to deport up to 50 people to Jamaica. Protesters from the group Stop Deportations locked themselves to metal pipes and blockaded the exit to Brook House, a detention center that's notorious for its appalling conditions, including abuse of detainees by Serco staff and use of solitary confinement, forcing some people to go on hunger strike. After several hours lying in the road, the protesters were... Squid Punk.
What's all this then?
That is exactly how British people sound. Oi, 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 what's all this then? Squid Punk, thank you so much for the 18 months of Prime Gaming. Appreciate you, love. Please go follow Squid Punk at twitch.tv/Squid Punk. They're amazing. So let's have a little look here. After several hours lying in the road, the protesters were arrested and held in police custody overnight for 22 hours. By blocking the entrance to Brook House, the protesters were able to delay the deportation vans, so the people from Brook House who were set to be deported could not be taken to Birmingham Airport in time for the flight. According to one report, the delay to the van's journey brought those on board with pending cases valuable minutes, and a mixture of media attention, urgent legal challenges, and direct action meant that all but 4 people were removed from the flight. As a result of this action, 3 protesters are now facing charges causing a public nuisance and aggravated trespass that will be tried by a jury at Lewes Crown Court on the 30th of May 2023 during a 7-day trial. This charter flight is part of a long tradition of the Home Office targeting black communities in the UK. People from Jamaica, Ghana, and Nigeria are deported at higher rates than other nationalities. In spite of the Home Office's claims they would right the wrongs of Windrush, a spokesperson for Stop Deportation said at the time, "We reject the legitimacy of the entire deportation regime. It's premised on racist notions of black, brown, and racialized people." More recently, Stop Deportation said blocking the road from Brook House was prevented people being violently and cruelly taken away from their families and loved ones. Many of those who were due to be deported to Jamaica arrived in the UK as children and have family, including children. Some had Windrush connections and some are potential trafficking survivors. They did not receive proper legal advice or time to challenge their deportation, so direct action was necessary to prevent it. Right? Your donations will go towards legal fees, including paying defense lawyers and mandatory court fees, CPS costs in the case of conviction, Solidarity and Rage, SOAS detainee support. Get it done. Get it done. Support them. Support the Brookhouse blockaders. Extremely important work that is being sabotaged by the Home Office, sabotaged by the Metropolitan Police Force of the UK, London and Manchester. Horrific. A juror is typically middle class or working class. It will be random, randomly selected. They may not get a jury. It says in there that they're getting a jury, Jen. Was this post the policing bill? I can't remember the timeline. Well, the policing bill has been passed. So I think it was before the policing bill was passed. So yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. So yeah, get behind that if you can. Chat, share it around. If you can't donate, signal boost it on Twitter. Extremely important. You know, it's just extremely important that these people don't get in trouble for what they did, because they've not hurt anyone. They've saved people's lives. You know, they've saved people's livelihoods. So yeah, that's that essentially. Anyway, what do we got next? Well, there's a little bit of good news here, but I've heard that actually it means that this is not actually that good news. But let's take a little look at this from the New York Post. Very weird that they would be so excited about this. New York City judge rules polyamorous unions entitled to same legal protections as two-person relationships. So let's take a look at this and see what's going on. Look, fuck off for a start. Manage choices. Listen, let me just do this off stream. Reject all. I don't want anyone to see all my shit. Let's have a look. An opinion from New York City's eviction court has come down on the side of polyamorous unions in the case of West 49th Street LLC versus O'Neill. New York Civil Court Judge Karen May Bagdayan reportedly concluded that polyamorous relationships are entitled to the same sort of legal protection given to two-person relationships. Now, chat, what's important for us to remember here is that two-person relationships may not have that many legal protections to begin with anyway. So let's see if they mention that in this article or not. West 49th Street LLC versus O'Neill involved three individuals, Scott Anderson and Marcus O'Neill, who lived together in a New York City apartment, and Anderson's husband, Robert Romano, who resided elsewhere. Anderson held the lease, and following his death, the building's owner argued that O'Neill had no right to renew the lease because he was a non-traditional family member. The attorney for the property owner said that O'Neill's affidavit, in which he claims himself as a non-traditional family member, is a fairy tale. According to LGBTQ Nation, the case returns to court after further investigation of the three individuals' relationship. In a decision, Judge Bagdayan highlighted the importance of a previous case and asserted that the existence of a triad, no matter how they got along, should not automatically dismiss O'Neill's claim to non-eviction protections. Before gay marriage was legalized in any state, Brashy versus Stahl Associates Co. 74 numbers was decided. The New York State Court of Appeals became the first American appellate court to recognize that a non-traditional two-person same-sex committed family-like relationship is entitled to legal recognition, and that non-traditional family member is entitled to receive non-eviction protections. So I think this is good. I think this is ultimately good, because if a court has ruled that this is the case, then I think statewide, that means that landlords will have to honor that ruling. I think that that's the case, isn't it? Otherwise, they'd be liable to be taken to court by tenants, I imagine, who are in a similar position to this. The Brashy court interpreted the rent control law in effect at a time when there was no legal recognition of same-sex marriage and broadly construed the law to effectuate its remedial purposes. Brashy is widely regarded as a catalyst for the legal challenges and changes that ensued. She pointed out, by the end of 2014, gay marriage was legal in 35 states through either legislation or state court action. Obergefell et al. Versus Hodges et al. Numbers again. The seminal U.S. Supreme Court decision that established same-sex marriage as a constitutional right was also heralded as groundbreaking. However, Brashy and its progeny and Obergefell, am I saying that right? Limit their holdings to two-person relationships. The instant case presents the distinct and complex issue of significant multi-person relationships. In the case at hand, Bagdayan notes how changes since 1989 play a role, including changes to the definition of family. She notes the law has rapidly proceeded in recognizing that it's possible for a child to have more than 2 legal parents. Why then, except for the very real possibility of implicit majoritarian animus, I don't even know what that means, is the limitation of 2 persons inserted into the definition of a family-like relationship for the purposes of receiving the same protections from eviction according to legally formalized or blood relationships, asked back Diane. Why does a person have to be committed to one other person in only certain prescribed ways in order to enjoy stability in housing after the departure of a loved one? Sounds like this judge has actually read the news about Cuba recently. That's what this feels like. When is this actually from? When is this news actually from? It is actually from October the 8th, so a couple of days ago. So I wonder if this judge has read the news about Cuba and just been like, yeah, I think we should probably just do what Cuba are doing. Cuba, even though Cuba, you know, even though we don't like Cuba here in the States, I think that's pretty progressive, you know? I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I don't doubt for a second, by the way, that this change in the law or this judge's ruling is going to mean anything close to what queer people get in Cuba, but I don't know. Maybe the judge read it, right? The judge notes that the problem with cases like Brashy and the landmark Obergefell versus Hodges, which held that the 14th Amendment guarantees the right for same-sex marriages, same-sex couples to marry and requires all states to recognize and issue marriage license for those couples, is that they recognize only 2-person relations. Those decisions, however, open the door for consideration of other relational constructs, and perhaps time has arrived, Backday said, citing a passage from Justice John Roberts' Obergefell dissent. So yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good in general. I mean, you know, there's not. I don't like the fact that this is written by Fox News and there's not anything else about sort of, I don't know, what is going on here. Let's take a look at some of the stuff in the comments here. So let's have a look. This is Barry Makes Comments. Barry Makes Comics, saying this New York Post headline is misleading as hell. The case wasn't about marriage at all. It was about if a deceased leaseholder's live-in lover counts as a non-traditional family member when being evicted if the deceased leaseholder is married to someone who lives elsewhere. Well, yeah, that's true. If the relationship between the deceased and his live-in lover had been exactly the same in every way, but the deceased hadn't been married to someone living elsewhere, then the lover would have been protected from eviction, no question. I can't really see any reason this man shouldn't have been given the protection for eviction. Blah, blah, blah. He's not been given any extra rights because he's poly. He's merely been given the rights that anyone else would have. Yeah, I think that's legit. Maybe the judge is poly. Maybe. Here's hoping, you know. Anyway, listen, chat. You know what it's time for now, don't you? That's right. It's Big Amy. Oh! Sophie, thank you so much for the raid. Beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous Sophie. How are you doing? How was your stream? That was a banger, wasn't it? That is a banger. That happens every time I get raided by more than 20 people. Welcome in, peeps from Sophie Stream. Hello. If you don't know me, my name's djmuel. I'm a leftist political streamer. My pronouns are he, him. We are doing today the news. We are doing also today a bunch of other stuff that you've just missed, which is interesting, but it's cool. But I do want to just draw your attention to this particular GoFundMe, as I don't need any extra money for myself this month. I'm trying to forward my comfortable position, sort of like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm trying to tell people about other causes they can support. So this GoFundMe is supporting people who may be put away for life in prison simply for holding up deportations, stopping deportations in November last year. So please go check out that GoFundMe before you do anything else, before you go off. I know you've come with Sophie to support her and you know, support me, and that's great. But before you go off and do other stuff because you don't want to listen to me talk, which is fine, just get that, support them. It's got to be done. Anyway, all of my gang probably already know Sophie from Mars. They probably already know her because, you know, We're literally the same person. We're not the same person, but we do a lot of stuff together. So please go and show us some love. If you don't, there's a shout out. She was doing a bit of Shadow of the Colossus. Nice. Doing a bit of speedrun Shadow of the Colossus. She's great at speedrunning Shadow of the Colossus. I've seen her do that in real life. But welcoming everybody. Just be mindful that we are about to go into a news section where we are going to be discussing content that contains war and violence. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. So please make sure that if that is not the kind of thing that you want to be looking at today, be nice to yourself. You know, go make yourself a nice cup of herbal tea or something, you know? Well, golly, Mule, the Sophie person sounds pretty neat. I know, wild. Yeah, that's right. Right, okay. Where am I? What am I doing? There's new people here. Shay Shell, hello. Thay in Twilight, welcome in, Thay. Let's have a shout out for Thay in Twilight. She's a top streamer. Oh, hang on. Right there. Boom. And who else do we got? Who else do we got that came in with Sophie? Prince Infidel, hello. What's going on? What's going down? And anyone else? Mr. Dank, hello. Mr. Dank, how are you? God, fucking everyone's here now. Famously based Sophie from Mars. That's right. Hey, Lorcan, what's going on? Faye, atop? I don't believe it. Oh, my God. Listen, that's not what I said. Hey, Emmy, what's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, don't forget Red Planet, everyone. Yeah, we do Red Planet. Me and Sophie do Red Planet together. Lorcan's here as well. Hello. Danny. Oh, my God. How do I say that? Diana. Deinonychus Turbo Laser. I'm just going to call you Turbo if that's all right. Is that all right? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Is this the mule I've heard so much about? Maybe. I don't know. There might be another one out there somewhere. Not sure. But anyway. Let's crack on with the news. We're going in. Everyone say hello, Amy. That's what we do. It's a little weird ritual that we have here when we watch the news. But everyone say hello, Amy. I want to see it. I want to see it in the chat.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In Ukraine, at least 19 people were killed and dozens more left injured Monday as Russia's military continued to rain bombs and missiles down on cities.
Damn.
The Kremlin said the long-range airstrikes were aimed at Ukraine's energy and military infrastructure in retribution for a weekend explosion that damaged a key bridge linking Russia to Crimea, the Ukrainian territory annexed by Moscow in 2014. Russian President Vladimir Putin has blamed Ukraine for the blast, calling it an act of terrorism. This morning, Ukraine's military claimed to have shot down several.
Hey, Skunk Fruct, I love that name.
Russia's latest.
That's a fucking name. Let's go.
The General Assembly gathered for an emergency session Monday ahead of a vote later this week on whether to accept Russia's annexation of 4 partially occupied territories of Ukraine. Poland's UN ambassador was among those urging member states to vote no.
Not condemning the attempted annexation means weakening the UN Charter and weakening the whole UN system.
Damn, the UN system weak? I would have never thought it, you know?
One cannot expect UN institutions to function efficiently if one votes not accordingly to the very foundation they were established upon.
Today, Ukrainian...
I mean, let's face it, that's what the UN is anyway. It's just like a bunch of, like, you know, it's all the countries in the world who, like, want to vote on, you know, extremely important things and get things done. But then if, like, Russia or the US or the UK or China votes no, then that's it. It's game over. Like, nonsense. You know? What does that even mean?
President Volodymyr Zelensky is holding virtual talks with leaders of the G7, including President Joe Biden and UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. It's expected Zelensky will ask for even more heavy weaponry, including advanced air defense systems.
Liz Truss, Jesus Christ.
The leader of Belarus said Monday he will deploy a joint military task force with Russia near Belarus's border with Ukraine.
Oh, you little dick. This little dickhead. This actual Hitler fuck. This guy, what's his name again? Lukashenko? Oh my God, discovered him a couple of months ago. Actual Hitler, though. Just putting, like, anarchists and communists in prison and shit. Like, I think even social democrats. Oh, fuck, are you joking? Are you joking me? I mean, it's pretty funny. I gotta say, this is fucked. It's fucked, but it's pretty funny that Putin is like needing support from his little mini Hitler guy, you know, Lukashenko in Belarus. It is pretty funny that Russia are not as hard as they said they were, you know? But this is still horrible for Ukraine. Like, the last thing that Ukraine should have to do is fight a war on two fronts. Yeah, nuts.
Lukashenko said he'd
Lukashenko, that's his name.
During a meeting last weekend with Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg. Lukashenko.
The meeting consisted of Putin tying him up, whipping him, and going, "You're gonna do this for me, aren't you, bitch?" And Lukashenko was like, "Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. I will." That's what happened. That was the meeting.
Announced the troop movements as he warned NATO not to station nuclear weapons in Poland, suggesting he may be preparing to allow Russia to deploy nuclear arms to Belarus.
You're just gonna give him nuclear weapons? Gonna give that guy nuclear weapons? Are you taking the piss? This is, oh my god, it's like a quark to midnight, isn't it? It's literally like a quark to midnight. Are you joking me? This guy will try and nuke the US? He'll be like, "Oh, the woke USA, we gotta nuke them." Are you joking me?
Military and political leaders of NATO and several European countries are already openly considering options of possible aggression against our country, including launching of a nuclear strike.
What are you talking about? He's made that up. No one's talking about striking Belarus. What do you mean? What are you fucking talking about? Is he right? He's making it up, isn't he? No one's even mentioned, no one cares about Belarus.
Tell the president.
And I say that with like the utmost respect for the people who are imprisoned in Belarus's prisons. Absurd. Lest we forget, Ukraine gave up the Soviet nukes stationed at their post-independence borders, and one of the things they got in return was a promise of independence from Russia. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Ukraine and other lunatics, if any of them are still there, that the Crimean Bridge will seem to them like a walk in the park if they ever touch a...
Hang on a minute. Can I just have a look at that guy's face? Check out this guy's face. So he's talking to like his top generals right here, isn't it? Thank you for the follow, by the way. He's talking to his top generals here. Let's just have a look at some of their faces in what he's saying here and just, you know, because we all know what happens in fascism, don't we, chat? We all know what happens when one fascist leader just takes things a little bit too far. And we know how fascist generals tend to react to that sometimes. I just want you to have a look at this guy's face.
Tell the president of Ukraine and other lunatics, if any of them are still there.
He's making some tentative notes, this guy.
The Crimean Bridge will seem to them like a walk in the park if they ever touch a single meter of our territory with their dirty hands.
In Venezuela, at least 36 people were killed by devastating floods over the weekend in the north-central state of...
The UK spy chief just said it's unlikely Russia is actually serious about using nukes. The Western intelligence community has been so incredibly nonchalant about the nuclear threat. It's insane. I mean, at the end of the day, like, just the fact that nuclear weapons exist and are in the hands of people like this is terrifying, isn't it? Like, that is a threat. Like, there is a threat already. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. Who knows? Who knows? You know, we're just at the moment, chat, all of us, me and you, we're just little peeps, you know what I mean? Like, this is, you know, out of our hands, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, Discrotter. Yeah, I'd love to see one of Lukashenko's generals just be like, actually, mate, this is a bit too far. Do you know what I mean? I'd love that. That'd be great.
56 people remain.
Anyway, all right. Nuclear anxiety, that bit's done. Hopefully that's the only bit of nuclear anxiety that we're gonna experience. You know, in today's stream. Fingers fucking crossed. Holy shit. Might be the last thing that general ever says. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Remain missing. Venezuelan Vice President Delcy Rodriguez said the equivalent of 1 month of rain fell in 8 hours. In Central America, tropical storm Julia brought intense rainfall to regions already saturated by weeks of heavy rains, triggering flooding and mudslides that killed at least
these poor
28
people,
in
honestly.
Guatemala and El Salvador. Meanwhile, a new joint report from the United Nations and the Red Cross warns that current rates of greenhouse gas emissions are set to drive more intense heat waves that'll cause large...
These things are just still happening. These things are just still happening despite the actual real consequences that we're seeing. You know what I mean? As someone living right next door to Ukraine, I'm definitely less chill about this nuclear threat than the British intelligence. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Mizes stream, am I saying that right? But welcome to the stream. You know,
scale suffering and loss of life across huge swaths of Africa and Asia where human life could become unsustainable by mid-century. The report warns heat waves will add to mass migration and further entrenched inequality, impacts that are already emerging today. The UN's High Commissioner for Refugees has made an urgent appeal for funding, warning of severe cuts unless his agency raises another $700 million by the end of the year. Filippo Grandi said Monday Russia's invasion of Ukraine had pushed the number of people forcibly displaced from their homes worldwide to more than 100 million. He said that's led the UN Refugee Agency's annual budget to balloon to over $10 billion US.
Yeah,
and while the
I can see that.
Response has been and must continue to be well funded, this has to be the target for all operations. Funding for new emergencies like Ukraine needs to be in addition to, not instead of the others.
Yep, 1000%.
Haiti, several people were shot Monday, at least one of them fatally, after police fired tear gas at thousands.
Just give me a minute. Hang on. Let's have a little look. Let's get the let's get the subtitles up for chat. Hold up. There you go.
Of protesters who took to the streets of the capital, Port-au-Prince. Protesters demanded the resignation of the U.S.-backed Prime Minister Ariel Henry and called on the government to reverse its decision to seek foreign military assistance.
Unemployment, the high cost of living, insecurity, it is all for the...
She usually warns if there's going to be any violence. That's correct, Birdie. But what she doesn't do is warn if there's going to be any blood. And if there's blood, that'll get me banned.
These reasons that I am in the street. I take to the streets to say no to the occupation.
The United Nations is urging the activation of a rapid action force to Haiti to combat armed gangs that have blockaded the main terminal in Port-au-Prince, blocking imports of food, fuel, and other necessities. This comes amidst warnings of a looming public health disaster as a new outbreak of cholera emerged this month. In 2010, UN peacekeepers inadvertently sparked a cholera outbreak that killed 10,000 people.
Jesus wept.
Forces in Haiti have been accused of sexual violence.
Of course.
In the occupied West Bank, a 12-year-old Palestinian child died Monday, 2 weeks after being shot and seriously wounded by Israeli forces during a raid in the Jenin refugee camp in late September. Mahmoud Mohammed Samoudi was at least the 165th Palestinian.
I can't even remotely, I can't understand. I can't get my head around it. I know that we shouldn't be shocked by this whenever we see this. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, this is just what the Israeli Defense Force do every day. Just attack children, especially disabled kids, Palestinian kids, And it's just like, I don't see how anyone could look at this picture and not see a human child. That's what that is. It's a human kid. I look at this picture. It might as well be my stepbrother. My stepbrother looked exactly like this when we were kids. Do you know what I mean? It's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Physically repulsive, I agree. Prince Imidal says, I have family in Haiti. I haven't heard in a long time. They're probably not around anymore. I hope that's not the case, mate, but it's not looking great in Haiti, is it? It's not looking fucking great. Anyway, let's carry on.
And killed by Israeli soldiers in the occupied West Bank and Gaza this year alone. At least 44 of those killed were children.
44. 44. That's a third of all Palestinians killed. A third of all Palestinians killed by Israeli soldiers have been kids.
Mexico has filed another lawsuit against 5 U.S.-based firearm dealers responsible for fueling the flow of illegal weapons and a surge of murders in Mexico. Foreign Relations Secretary Marcelo Ebrard said Monday the new lawsuit targets 5 gun shops based in Arizona that have made firearms widely accessible to straw.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that? Nice little signed picture of Donald Trump there in this gun shop. Love that. Great. Came across a Twitter thread showing pictures of apparently everyone killed by the IDF this year and implying that they all deserved it. Yeah, this is why we gotta get off Twitter, gang. This is why staying off Twitter is good for your mental health. You know, just coming across that kind of, you know, coming across that kind of psychic damage is just not ideal.
Straw buyers who then help smuggle them into Mexico. He said in recent years, about 60% of the weapons seized in Mexico were traced back to 10 U.S. counties, mostly along the U.S.-Mexico border. This comes after a U.S. federal court in late September dismissed a separate $10 billion lawsuit Mexico filed last year against U.S.-based gun manufacturers. In Thailand, families of the
was that I missed that, Lorcan. Big gun owners for Trump sign on the wall too. Yeah.
Victims of last week's massacre at a child care center gathered.
Remember when Trump said he wanted to take the guns away from people and worry about due process later? These guys sure don't. That's right. Twitter's a mess, my god. It's just like a Pokemon game, except you collect blocks. Yeah, and then when you collect blocks, it doesn't even matter because those people get banned and then they end up coming back on with a different account anyway. So it's all nonsense. It's all ridiculous. I wonder how many since I've like where do I get news about the world from non-mainstream sources if not on Twitter? I don't understand if you're being serious or not. Is that like a legit serious question? Hey Blumhouse, what's going on? Welcome in. How are political ads legal in fucking gun shops? America? No, not newspapers. They said, Next Void said not mainstream. Literally, I was just about to say, listen, what are we watching right now? Democracy Now! Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if that chat message is serious or not. Yeah, Twitter keeps putting those people on your timeline. Yeah, it's horrible. I've heard that TweetDeck is a lot better. I've heard that TweetDeck is a lot better. Like if you go on TweetDeck, you don't see any of that. I don't know if you use TweetDeck, Birdie, because I know that you need to be on Twitter for your work and stuff. Yeah, Lyra's saying that too. TweetDeck is a lot better because it doesn't like show you the suggested tweets and shit like that. Hey Vod, you use it as well? It's true? Okay. Still ruined your life? Oh. You pick your own columns. Yeah, that's right. TweetDeck is like a weird sort of version of Twitter that's like not run by the algorithm. I've got to start using it, to be honest. I've just got to get off Twitter again because, you know, the only reason that I got back on Twitter is because all these fucking debate bros were just like, hate following me. Do you know what I mean? So I get all these followers and they're all debate bros and they just followed me to see that if I post something slightly cringe, so that they could just post it and all their fucking message boards and all that and be like, yeah, look at djmuel, he said that he doesn't like cake. What a racist. Do you know what I mean? So I had to go back on Twitter to block all those idiots because it's just nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Like, just fucking get out my life, you twats. And then now I'm on it and I've been dragged in. I was doing so well. Literally before I fucking went away for my holiday, I was doing amazing. You know? Anyway, ridiculous. djmuel doesn't like chocolate cake because it's brown. What a racist. Oh my god. You saw your colleague listening to Jordan Peterson. What do I do? Well, genuinely, I would actually say, don't worry about it, because I'd be concerned, but I wouldn't worry about it too much, because you've got to remember that like lots of people in real life don't actually even know who Jordan Peterson is. Genuinely, they don't know who he is. They're just like, who's that? So it's possible that your colleague has like found one of these like generic clips of Jordan Peterson where he's saying something vaguely agreeable, you know? This just in, anti-white racist djmuel doesn't like cheesecake. Oh, I like how you put the DJ in inverted commas, because they do think I'm not a real DJ. Some of them are apparently convinced I'm not a real DJ, despite the multiple DJ related content is out there. That's out there. Do you know what I mean? Anyway. Right, let's crack on.
Buddhist temples this morning to mark the end of 3 days of funeral ceremonies honoring their loved ones. A 34-year-old former police officer fatally shot and stabbed at least 36 people, including 24 children.
Jesus Christ.
Children's Development Center.
Wait, where was this?
In Thailand. Families of the victims of last week's massacre at a child care center
in Thailand.
Buddhist temples this morning to mark the end of 3 days of funeral ceremonies.
Oh my God.
A 34-year-old former police officer fatally shot and stabbed at least 36 people, including 24 children, at the Young Children's Development Center last Thursday.
Oh, that's horrible.
Mass shooting in Thailand's modern history.
Absolutely
Meanwhile,
nasty.
2 US journalists who work for CNN apologized for their coverage of the deadly attack after entering the building where the killings happened without permission. Thai press groups accuse CNN reporter Anna Koren and cameraman
ex-cop. Weird how that happens, eh?
Daniel Hodge of breaching journalistic ethics. In Ohio, U.S. Senate candidates squared off in a Monday evening debate that will help determine the balance of power in the next Congress. Republican venture capitalist J.D. Vance repeatedly defended the actions of Donald Trump, whose endorsed
1312 already, that's right.
In Ohio's Republican primary last May. He faces Democratic Congressmember Tim Ryan, who accused Vance.
Next voice says, sorry, I think I phrased it controversially without meaning to. What I mean is mainstream media tends to frame the news from a neoliberal perspective, which is anarcho-communist is great to me. On Twitter, at least it's more diverse, and I'm following a lot of socialists. Right, I mean, listen, I just didn't think that you were being serious, because we're watching a non-mainstream news channel here, not being broadcast from a neoliberal perspective, and I just thought, what an absolutely absurd thing to say while this is happening, not on Twitter. So that was that. That was why my reaction was the way that it was. But yeah, you know, if you're following a lot of different diverse news sources on Twitter, then I imagine you could probably find them not on Twitter as well. You know, a lot of like communist, especially anarchist news zines and stuff like that are all like not on Twitter. Just off the top of my head, Anarchist Federation's organized magazine, I get that delivered twice a year. You know, and you can get the PDF if you're not based in the UK. So there you go. There's lots of different options. Just have to find them. Just have to break the Twitter addiction, break the dopamine timeline doom scroll addiction, and try and find it. I know it's hard though. Don't get me wrong. Like I've been sucked right back into it recently, and you might not be as bad as me with Twitter. You might not be as addicted as I am. So I don't want to assume that you have the same issues that I do. JD Vance, that's right. Hey, Conquest of Cornbread, how you doing? Welcome in. Ryan saw Vance a few new holes. Republican taste in ties gives me hope for the democratic process.
Of having his dignity taken away from him by the former president. In Georgia, new details have emerged about how Republican Senate candidate Herschel Walker paid for a girlfriend.
No, that's okay. Next, don't worry about it.
The anti-choice Republican has denied the reports despite the existence of copious evidence. And over the weekend, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported text messages have emerged showing Walker's wife reached out to the ex-girlfriend. Walker has publicly called for a total ban on abortions without exceptions for rape, incest, or the help of the mother. This comes as Democrats hope to harness voter anger over the Supreme Court's June ruling allowing states to ban abortion.
The midterms are going to be very interesting, chat. I don't know what's going to happen. It's really weird. Like, lots of people just don't care about the truth anymore. There are no reliable narrators to any kind of you know, mainstream political rhetoric. And I think that it's going to be really odd. I think it's going to be really hard for the Democrats to kind of like convince people to vote for him, considering all the promises that they made and the lack of stuff that they've actually done. You know, it's it's a little bit of a victory with the Democrats pardoning, you know, people in federal prisons for weed possession, but that's a very, very small number of people. And, you know, thanks for the follow. So yeah, it's really gonna be interesting to see what's going on. Apparently voter registration is up massively and it's mostly women. I mean, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Centrism just took a fucking shellacking here in local government elections. Is that right, Middle Earth Marxist? People voting either hard left or hard right. Hey, Hell to Pay. Sorry, I think I missed you in the chat before. Dems have done jack to help folks with material conditions. Right, exactly. The number of people in federal prison for weed is 0. Well, not strictly true. Not strictly true. Is actually like more than that for weed in general. But for possession, I think is 0. You know what I mean? For possessing weed, I think you're right. I think possession is 0. But for dealing weed and stuff like that, I think, yeah, absolutely. Layla, listen, I'm not sure. I think you've done this before, but please don't talk about how many viewers I've got. I don't want to know. If it's too many, it makes me anxious. If it's too little, it makes me depressed. So please do not mention. If you see how many people are watching, I don't want to know. I don't care. You know what I mean? And just, yeah, don't do that in any stream, to be honest, because I think that it's, yeah, it's just a bit rude, isn't it? Simple possession was what Biden pardoned. Yeah, I don't think anybody was in federal prison for that. I think I did a bit of a look into that on Sunday night. And I think I remember seeing that 3,000 people, listen, it's kind of a victory, sort of. Because the 3,000 people who had been in federal prisons for possession got their criminal record wiped clean, right? Not, you know, just for drug possession, just for weed possession. But they got that stricken from their, you know, from their criminal record. So that's pretty good. That is actually a win. But it's tiny. It's tiny, 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 tiny. And, you know, we do need to be pushing for more. The rescheduling is good in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, it's good. But in the short term, it's kind of like, well, you know, not ideal. Hey, Yanshvim, how's it going? 6,500 people. Sorry, that's what it is. There you go, 6,500 people. I think you're right. It is that. It's wiping people's records retroactively. I think it's bigger than just the people who were in right then, even though it's not enough. Right, I'm with you. I'm with you. When you got arrested, the co-investigator smoked your hash? Oh, fuck that. The rescheduling doesn't require an act of Congress, right? Let's increment our way toward freedom. I know, yeah, it's just so ridiculous. Like, it's good to have like lobby groups and pressure groups, like, you know, put pressure on politicians to make reforms like this, but you know, ultimately incrementalism is just nonsense. It's not going to work. You know, how long do we have to suffer in order to get like basic rights? You know, it's that whole fucking argument again, just like, you know, people not being pardoned, like especially black people, you know, BIPOC folks who were just in prison for dealing weed still, and there's just white guys setting up like weed shops in every fucking state, you know? I don't know, it's just fucking stupid, isn't it? Anyway, going back to what Middle Earth Marxist said about centrism taking a shellacking, my town, which had a centre-right mayor, went hard left, and Labour's chosen boy bombed hard. Up in Auckland, where they were incumbent, their admittedly leftist candidate lost hard to a far-right dude. Same round the rest of the country, not looking good for next year. Oh my god. Yeah, that is interesting. Wow. I'm not optimistic about getting weed legalized through a Congress that still mostly thinks reefer madness was a true story. Yeah, same. I agree. It's a good first step. The problem is with Dems, of course. That's all they'll do. I'm just over here looking at Cuba like, hey, can a block just include me in your family? Pretty sure that works now. Yep. That's right. See student debt forgiveness, which is getting means tested into oblivion. Yeah, it's not good, that shit, at all. I fucking hate means testing. Get fucked. So bad. Right, let's carry on. We're nearly done. We're nearly done with the news already, chat. Can you believe it? How much time has it been? I don't even know. I might be at, I think we spent like an hour or maybe like 40 minutes talking about the Twitter stuff, and we're here now.
Wisconsin. Democrat Mandela Barnes is hoping to unseat Republican incumbent Ron Johnson to become the state's first ever African-American U.S. Senator.
That's right, Lorcan.
In the U.S. Senate, I would absolutely vote to codify Roe versus Wade to protect the right to an abortion and the right to choose into law once and for all to protect women's rights.
The president of the Los Angeles City Council, Nuri Martinez, has stepped down from her leadership role after she was recorded saying racist remarks.
Oh, this shit is so fucked. It's so fucked. Now, this is the City of Los Angeles Council meeting, right? So, Los Angeles, where during the George Floyd uprisings, there were so many horrible encounters with the LAPD. The LAPD is basically a gang. You know, the institutionalized racism that is present in Los Angeles is so fucked, especially when you look at, like, the history of the segregation laws and shit like that. You know, it's just so bad. Like, it's just really horrible. America, obviously, horrible for racism, and LA itself, just a really nasty, horrible place to live if you're a person of color in general. But this is just, it just proves that this is how they see black people. Like, this is what they think of black people, like in the upper echelons of councils and governments and stuff like that.
Against black and indigenous people. Martinez made the comments
and indigenous people
last year on a phone call discussing redistricting with council members Kevin DeLeon and Gil Cedillo, as well as LA Labor Federation President Ron Herrera, who has also just resigned his post. It's unclear who recorded the call or who leaked it to the media, but it comes just weeks before voters head to the polls in Los Angeles to pick a new mayor. We'll have more on this story after headlines. In labor.
Okay, so they're not going to say what she said. I think that they cover this in like a special sort of segment on Democracy Now! Oh, let me see if I can find it real quick. LA City Councilor steps down. Let's see. Yeah, Nuri Martinez. So we got an article here from The Independent. Let's see if we can register for free to continue reading. Fuck off! Right, give me a sec. I'm gonna sort this out. I'm gonna make this readable for us, chat. I'm gonna make it readable. Hang on. Fucking paywalled again. Paywalled again, chat. Can you believe it? Excuse me. Yeah, content warning for racism right now. All right. Here we go, chat. All right, so. Oh, God, for God's sake. Right. Former Los Angeles City Council President Nuri Martinez is taking a leave of absence after quitting her position for racist remarks she made about a fellow lawmaker's son. The politician said she was truly ashamed of the alleged racist comments she was caught on tape making about the black youngster whom the Los Angeles Times reported she called a monkey in Spanish, which I believe is like, is it Chango or something like that? I don't know. And the only reason I know that is because we used to have a burrito spot here in Manchester that I used to love, right? Oh, is it not Chango? Right, okay. Oh, that is what she said. She said, right. The only reason that I know that that is like, you know, something that fucking people say about black people in Hispanic countries is because we had a burrito spot that called themselves Changos. It was absurd. I couldn't believe it. Like, I didn't even know it was racist until someone pointed out to me. They were like, oh yeah, that's a racist word. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? Ridiculous. So anyway, apparently it's one of those. It's not like necessarily a slur. It's like it can be in certain you know, different contexts fine, but mostly in other contexts it's not. So yeah, horrific, not ideal. Oh, thank you for the follow. Your friendly organizer says, how you doing? I'm doing all right, thank you, your friendly organizer. How are you doing? What's going on? You'd eaten from there and you were like, oh fuck, when I found out. Yeah, bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. She said this about a baby? She said it about a baby? Is it a baby? I thought it was just like a kid, a generic kid, like, you know, 6 to 12. I don't know. This has been one of the most difficult times of my life. Oh, give over. Shut the fuck up. Ms. Martinez was captured on a leaked audio recording referring to the alleged past behavior of Councillor Mike Bonan's son. She's also accused of saying in front of other council members, I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Great. Love that. Love that. Very normal. While I did not engage in the conversation in question, I was present at the time during this meeting last year. It is my instinct to hold others accountable when they use derogatory or racially divisive language, he told the Los Angeles Times. Clearly, I should have intervened. I failed in holding others and myself to the highest standards. The hurtful and harmful remarks made about my colleague's son were simply unacceptable. We choose public life, but our family should always be off limits and never part of the political discourse. Wow! Still dealing with racism 101 in elected officials. Oh, it sounds so hard on her. So hard. Why didn't they reveal this to the public this time last year? Well, yeah, why not? Why did they not? Anyway, this person's intern wrote a pretty good apology. Yeah, I know. Anyway, horrible, horrific shit. Fucking racists, right?
News. Unionized railroad maintenance and construction workers have rejected a tentative deal with railroad carriers, renewing the possibility of a nationwide strike.
Oh yeah, like yeah. Normally, when I'm struggling, when I'm like, you know, worried about paying the bills and stuff like that, and I'm really, you know, having a hard time in my life, what happens is I just automatically get racist. That's what happens.
Tentative agreement between unions and railroad carriers was brokered last month with the help of the Biden administration's Presidential Emergency Board. It would add
Presidential Emergency Board? What? Oh, what's this? What's this? You mean to tell me? Wait, what? Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. You mean the president has emergency powers that he can enact without the agreement of Congress or the Senate? Is that, you telling me that that's true? This thing that I've been saying for the last fucking year? The last 2 years?
Add one additional paid day off and allow workers to take unpaid days to get medical care without being penalized by their employers. Workers have denounced a lack of any paid sick time. The deal also included a pay raise of about 20% by
Hey Theo, what's going on?
The rail carriers have seen their profits soar in recent years while workers' wages remain stagnant. And renowned defense lawyer Billy Southern has died.
Absolutely amazing for rail workers. Fucking brilliant. Good shit. Also proof that Biden can do things when pushed to it by the right amount of union pressure. And that's what it is, chat. You know, when I'm going on at you all the time to join unions or start unions or join multiple unions. This is why. It gets results. It gets results. You know? Oh, yeah, same Smutty Babiage. I hate the man. You know? I mean, listen, I hate fascists, right? I hate Trump. I hate Liz Truss. I hate Trump. You know, all these fuckers, I hate them. But, you know, what I think what's worse is just cowardly, centrist neoliberals. I can't stand them. I think they're just absurd. At least with a fascist, you know what you're getting. Do you know what I mean? You know what you're getting with a fascist. It's like, okay, this person is a fascist. I don't need to have, like, I can't have any faith in them. I don't, you know, there's no point in wasting my time trying to hope that they'll get better, because they won't. But when someone sort of like, you know, actually says that they're good and they're a good person and they have the opportunity to be good and be a good person, but they don't, that gets on my fucking nerves, you know? You know? All right, describe. You take it easy and have a good sleep. Goodbye. You know, it makes me so mad.
By suicide. He was 45 years old. Southern became known for defending low-income people across what's known as the Death Belt, a region stretching from Alabama to East Texas where death penalty cases are prevalent.
Damn.
Southern took up some of the toughest cases, including the wrongful conviction of Albert Woodfox, a former Black Panther who spent nearly 44 years in solitary confinement for a crime he always...
44 years! Hey Rob, what's going on? I do detest Tories. Yeah, they make me sick. 44 years in solitary confinement. Are you joking? Are you joking? And this guy was trying to stand up for people like that, like, and poor bastard died by suicide. That's not good. Poor guy.
Said he did not commit. Democracy Now! Spoke to Billy Southern in 2016 when Albert Woodfox was released from prison.
If you look back through the course of Albert's case, we see the suppression of evidence by the prosecution. We see ineffective assistance of counsel for people who can't afford their own lawyers. We see an appellate process that's incredibly resistant to providing new trials, even when it's the manifest and right thing to do. So while, of course, it's amazing that after 43 years, Albert Woodfox is now out of prison, it's also horrifying that it took 43 years for this injustice to be corrected.
And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman in New York, joined by Democracy Now! Co-host Juan Gonzalez.
You know what it is, chap. Is that my fucking YouTube as well? What the fuck is going on? Why is that? Why is that happening? Stop. Why does it do that? Fucking, that was so loud. That was so loud. All I did yesterday was link my Patreon and my YouTube, and all of a sudden it's just enabled these alerts. I didn't want to do that. Why did you do that? Why is that the default? Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. Thank you, Next, for subscribing to the YouTube. Like, how do I... What's going on here? I've got to change that, otherwise, you know, I don't know. Someone might, like, share my fucking channel while I'm online or something, and it'll just start going ridiculous. It'll just start going on ridiculous. Big mistake connecting them. I thought it'd be really, it'd make it more manageable and more fun, but it didn't. It just made it more stressful. Where do I get those alerts? What's going on? It's not even telling me where I'll get those alerts. Relerts? Oh, for God's sake. I've just logged in as the wrong person. How have I managed that? Log in. Log in with Twitch. It's fucking Streamlabs, isn't it? I need to change everything for... Why is it just logging in like that? What's going on? Does Twitch think I'm logged in as my bot? Is that what's going on? Oh, it's logged me out. It's logged me in. It's a fucking bot. Fuck off. All right. See you later, Lyra. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry. I just need to sort this out. I'm getting red. I'm getting red. I'm getting mad. I'm getting red. Right. Hang on. Let me just do this. It's a Mammal says, thank you, DJ Mule, for being a new source for leftist stuff. And they've subscribed as well. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. Appreciate that. It's a Mammal says, thank you, djmuel, for being a news source for leftist stuff. I used to watch the surfs for things like commentary and Democracy Now, but as you mentioned in one of your vids, they do some not cool stuff like platforming fascists. So I'm happy to have found your channel recently. Appreciate that, It's a Mammal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for following. Thank you so much for being here. Glad you're enjoying the content. Yeah, it's not ideal. You know, there are... Listen, I don't know what Lance is doing nowadays because I don't watch his content in it. Do you know what I mean? He did follow me on Twitter after my debate, bro. My debate bro video, my Xanderhol video. So I don't know what that was about. And he has raided me before and stuff like that. But if he is still doing shit like that, that's definitely worrying. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. You know, and it's annoying really, isn't it? Because I used to watch Lance as well. There's a few people recently that I used to watch where I'm just like, why are you going down this line? But then I go like that and I say, you know why they're going down this line, Mule? It's money. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know yourself, having fucking morals and standards and shit like that. Having, what do you call it? Like, you know, when you have a moral center and you stick to it, it's not very profitable, you know what I mean? So anyway. By the way, I point people at you often. Good community in politics is hard to find. I appreciate that, semiotic. Thank you. Word of mouth is easily one of the best ways to, you know, promote my channel for me. Integrity, that's what it is, Shafiq. Thank you. Welcome back, mate. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know if you're in a mate mood at the minute. Right, let's have a look at this. Alert box. It's got pledges, general settings, follows, subscriptions, donations, host bits, raids, pledges, Tiltify donations. Where's the fucking... What the fuck? Where's the YouTube subscription thing? Do I have to log in with YouTube or something? Oh, that's what it is, isn't it? I've got to log in with YouTube. Nonsense. That's what it's going to ask me to do, isn't it? Log in with YouTube. I can't believe that. Choose an account. That one. Admin stream. Sorry. Just give me a second. Alert box. What? Subscribers? Is that what it is? I don't know. Right, yeah, okay, let's disable that real quick. Thank you. Right, I've done it. I've done it. Thanks, chat. I've done it. Thanks for bearing with me. We're here. You know. That's it. Oh, thank God for that. Right, what's next? What did I miss in the chat while all that was going on? Surf's led me to Twitch in the first place. Can't with Lance anymore. Yeah, not good. Followed you too, probably because of some fundraiser stuff you did. If these big nerds aren't supporting my own work, I don't know if I should care. Yeah, I agree. He always had questionable takes. RE Destiny and Vorsht. Yeah, not good. Seeing him live debate racists recently, he watches too many Tim Pool and Jordan Peterson vids with not enough actual commentary and likes to keep his chat centrist, which means a lot of assholes show up. Yeah, this is... Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So the surf's jumping opportunistically on dog piles of smaller creators. Weird behavior. Yeah, not good. Not cool. The Lawrence Southern thing was the thing that fucked with me the most. Just like sort of dragging an indigenous person into, you know, a debate on the Great Replacement and stuff like that. I just thought that was really fucked. So if he's not really getting much better, then fuck him. That's what I say. Schnibs says, thoughts on J-Reg auto exit. No idea who that is. No idea. literally no idea what that is. So, can't help you there, unfortunately. Hey, Friezo, what's going on? Welcome in. Watched Lance for a while, a lot of leftist did. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. Yeah, that's it. Did you hear the latest on the dickhead who's in prison in Ireland for not respecting pronouns? Wait, what? Wait, what? What is that? Yeah, I guess since you brought it up, Middle-earth Marxist, I guess I will briefly mention Keffels. You know, look, like me and the mods have been trying to figure out the best way to address this for a while because it's not, you know, where Keffels is right now is not good. It's not good, and that's that. Basically, that's the end of that. Sort of being pally with debate bros like Vorsh, being pally with debate bros, and you know, sort of going after Chud Logic, and then you know, saying, oh, actually, no, it's fine. I, you know, don't need to go after you anymore and stuff like that. Just really bizarre. I've had a personal disagreement with Keffels for a long time. I've had her blocked for a long time due to a personal disagreement between the both of us in DMs. Not mentioned anything about it because I don't think that another trans person deserves any more sort of ammunition to be piled on because she was getting harassed a lot. And I think that amongst that harassment, there were some legitimate concerns that needed addressing, but there was also a lot of stuff getting made up by a lot of different people. And so we were going to try and, like, you know, say, look, you know, we need to not be doing this. We need to not be contributing to the harassment. We need to be thinking about how harassment works and stuff like that. And let's not have people just, like, jump on, you know, the bandwagon of you know, harassing people for the sake of it, you know, because that was happening. But I think now with the current, you know, the way that things have gone in sort of like, you know, she's made a video about Luna now, which is completely full of nonsense and, you know, awful criticisms of Marxist-Leninist society with a terrible thumbnail that apparently she claims that, you know, her editor has come up with. You know, oh, it's not my fault. My editor came up with it. I think that's such a horrible response for that. I think that's just absurd. If you've got an editor, like, technically you are in charge of what they do and how they represent your brand. And if your brand is making someone who lives in a socialist country look like a capitalist, you know, apologist and just, I don't know, I just think it was really bad. So that's that, basically. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that this is the case, that this has happened. I do think that there are some things that she was getting criticized for which are a bit absurd, and I think that people were making things up about her on sort of both ends of the spectrum, and it's hard to see who's being serious and who's not, and that's awful. You know, it's just not good. You know, Keffels and Co put some harassment on some black people too. That Luna vid is like, why? Listen, that's the thing that I don't know about, you know, sort of like, you know, Keffels is making people harass black people. Like, when I saw that, you know, sort of discourse going on Twitter, I personally couldn't find any evidence that Keffels had said, right, we need to harass black people and make it, do you know what I mean? Like, make that happen. I've not seen anything like that. But what I do know is that by associating with Vorsh and Debate Bros and stuff like that, that is just going to happen anyway. So I think that if we're going to criticize her, we need to criticize her for, like, actual tangible sort of steps that she's made, rather than, because I don't know, I've not seen any stuff like that where Keffels has literally been like, oh, these black people need to be harassed and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Sort of the implication of being involved with the debate world as it is right now is that you have to harass black people, right? Do you know what I mean? That's kind of implied harassment. So, you know, I don't know. It's fucking upsetting is what it is. Right, yeah, you can't pal around with Debate Bros without being culpable for the fact that you're tolerating their behavior. This is the issue, right? This is the issue. This is it. Anyone associating with Vorsh is a huge red flag, right? And that, I think that is what has led to most of the harassment that, you know, because at the end of the day, people are saying like, oh, Keffels fans are harassing, you know, black people and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but, you know, that is a crossover, isn't it? It's Keffels fans, but they're also fans of Vorsh and Xanderhal and Chud Logic and Destiny. Do you know what I mean? It's all like a weird mix, isn't it? So, you know, it's debate nerds. It's debate culture at large, isn't it? Right? I mean, maybe there's something that she said that I've not seen. I don't know. Genuinely don't know. But that was where my head was at. There was a lot of messy stuff, a lot of messy allegations getting thrown around. You know. But also, hello, Odnon. Welcome in. Please go follow Odnon, everyone. Lovely lad. I've been looking at people's follow lists to decide on engage versus block. Yeah, and it's just bad, isn't it? That when we have to do that, when we have to, like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, we shouldn't have to be thinking about this shit. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's that. That's that. That's all I'm saying on that. That's all you're getting. That's where it is. You know, fucking whatever you want to do, clip it, ship it. I don't fucking care. I think that actually that's the best good charitable read that I could give someone. You know what I mean? Right, it's a nuanced take, and I think that, you know, that's that, isn't it? I really wish anyone but Keffels had spearheaded the anti-Kiwi Farms campaign. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, right, someone did it, and it's good that that happened. And I think that that is something that's worthy of praise, personally. I think that that is great. Kiwi Farms is responsible for killing people. Do you know what I mean? It is. It is. So, at the end of the day, I think that someone had to do it, and I think it was incredibly brave for a trans woman to do it, especially one that's already been doxxed and harassed, stuff like that. You know, there's a long fought war on Kiwi Farms. Keffels made some finishing moves and got all the credit. Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of thinking. I was thinking, like, there's definitely some other people that have done this stuff too, right? You know? So I appreciate explicitly saying, like, hey, I can't confirm this, and using what evidence you do personally have. I wish more people would act in better faith like that. We have to be consistent. You know, look, we are opposed to, as leftists, the right wing and neoliberal economic policy, right? When you look at those spectrums sort of, you know, in an analytical way and, you know, in a sort of critical way, we can see that they do not care for truth, right? They don't care for the truth. They don't care for actual facts or stats or anything like that, right? And if they do care about stats, they cherry pick them and all that stuff. So I think that we as leftists, in opposition to that, need to be completely consistent in what we do and do not, you know, take as evidence, right? So that's that. And, you know, I also understand if some people have supported Keffels in the past and want to stay with her in order to, like, you know, offer a bridge, possibly, of redemption and shit like that. You know what I mean? If people have got the spoons to do that and be able to, like, support her and stuff like that, because there's every chance that one day that whole debate sphere is going to just explode. And everyone's going to be left with, like, you know, nothing. And that's possibly when they'll all turn on people like Keffels and, you know, other less privileged members of the debate community and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm more than happy for people to do that. You know, not going to ban you from my fucking community if you follow us still or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them, innit? You know, a woman of color who was driven to a full breakdown by Kiwi Farm, she's able to talk about it finally. Yeah, that fucks. I'm glad that she's able to, like, you know, finally get some stuff out about that. But yeah, horrific. Anyway, yeah, or just when they have a content drought, right? That's it, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm talking about. Back in 2019, I did a charity stream with my mates, and we had Ellen on, and she was decrying debate content. Oh, hang on. It's weird as well because she also in person is hanging around with someone who I would have thought would have called her out on that with Ellen from now on. Yeah. Yeah, it's also like, yeah, not ideal. Who are all these people coming in asking me like, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on that? What's your opinion on this? What's my opinion on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia 5JE5? .5JE5 when you've got a picture of someone from Saudi Arabia in your fucking profile. Do you think I'm daft? What do you think I'm stupid, mate? Do you think this is my first fucking rodeo? What do you mean what? You know what I mean. Don't what me. You know what I'm on about. What? Oh, what? What? Oh, what? I'm asking your opinion on my country. Listen, I don't owe you shit. Come back tomorrow. I'm not having fucking time for this. Fucking nonsense. Get fucked. If you stick around and watch my stream for long enough, you'll learn. Mule, I've never spoken to you before. Can you give me a detailed breakdown and a country review of my country? Fuck off. Don't owe you shit. Piss off. Right. Do you know what I mean? Someone in the stream before was like, what's your opinion on JREG Auto Wexit? I don't know who that is. What is that? What is that? Never heard of it. Nonsense. I mean, I've heard of Saudi Arabia, but like, what is that? Mule, what's your opinion on Germany? What's your opinion on France? You know, Somalia. What's your opinion on... What is that? Country tier list. I'll tell you what, I'll do a country tier list, shall I? Mule, how gay do you think Tetsuo the Iron Man is? You know how gay I think Tetsuo the Iron Man is, because you were there when we watched it. Mule, what's your opinion on the Principality of SeaWorld? I think that there's some hierarchical issues, but you know, in the long grand scheme of things, I think it's you know, a step in the right direction. Yeah, it's such a broad question. It's a broad question. Like, like the entirety of like Saudi Arabia. Like, I'm not just gonna like stop the stream and start going on. Like, I've got loads of shit to cover. You know. I've got loads of shit to cover. Fuck off. Right. Listen, you know what we're covering now, don't you, chat? Because we've not covered it yet. The music's coming. You'll hear it in a minute, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if this is how it's going to go. I think it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah!
With Mexi.
Welcome, one and all, to the most uplifting day of the month, where we celebrate all of the wins that activists worldwide have been able to achieve through solidarity and fierce determination.
That's fucking right, chat!
My own PLN to share with you all today.
Hang on a minute. Why am I getting such bad quality on YouTube here? Auto 1080p. It said it was 1080p, but it just wasn't then, was it? It wasn't. Yeah, look, you know, most people who are here know what my opinion on Saudi Arabia is. Do you know what I mean? Like, in general, like, you know, the fact that it's got a monarchy, the fact that it's, like, you know, killing human rights protesters and shit like that. Like, come on, like, fuck off. Like, who the fuck are you? Oh, Rob, thank you for the £5 dono. Thank you, Rob. For the £5 dono. Thank you for subbing off Twitch. I'm much louder than the video. Right, well, let's turn it up to full. And also, let's get rid of the content warning, because I think we're going to be fine with the content warning. YouTube just lies about video quality. That's all right. No worries. YouTube keeps taking this off my subscribed updates. Fucking bastards. Literally bastards. You know what the score is when we play a video from a leftist content creator that we like, and Positive Leftist News is that and then some. So please go and support Positive Leftist News. Throw them a follow, throw them a subscribe, like the video, play the video in a muted tab so that they get a bunch of watch time. That'd be ideal, wouldn't it? So listen, chat, it's time for some Positive Leftist News. Let's go.
My partner and I will be welcoming our first little baby comrade into the world.
Hey, congrats!
This year. So I'm so glad that you've all been enjoying the rotation of hosts on this channel. It will certainly keep up while I'm on maternity leave, although I'll probably still be contributing something behind the scenes. Thank you to everyone who has shared and supported the channel, helping us to expand our team and to get more eyes on this often criminally underreported yet invigorating leftist news. So without further ado, let's get into it. 2 Kenyan tribes are suing the UK government at the European Court of Human Rights for $200 billion for
let's go, yes!
colonial abuses. The Talai and Kipsigi...
Oh, this is what you want to see! Fucking damn right you are. Damn right you are.
Tribes state that the abuse...
More of this. More of this.
...included land theft, torture, and forcible exile to an insect-infested valley as punishment for resisting. Their insect bites led to deaths, miscarriages, and loss of livestock. Although the tribes were able to return once Kenya regained independence in 1963, many continue to suffer economic consequences from the theft of their land, even as that same land became profitable for multinational companies through neocolonial plunder.
Yep.
Today, some of the world's most prosperous tea companies like Unilever, Williamson Tea, Finlay's, and Lipton occupy and farm these lands and continue to use them to generate considerable profits, the plaintiff said in a statement. The UK has not made amends for their violation of the European Convention on Human Rights. The UK government has ducked and dived and sadly...
Oh, well, you know, we exited Brussels, take back control, so we won't have to be held accountable for the human rights abuses that we, abused while colonizing Kenya. So there you go.
Avoided every possible avenue of redress, said lawyer
You know, this is the whole reason that the UK wanted to leave. Like, not the UK, like the people. The people had no idea what fucking leaving the EU was all about. But, like, this is why the Tory government wanted to leave the EU, because they were like, oh, there's like there's a bit of murmuring of reparations going on. Oh, I don't like this. Do you know what I mean? British appropriation of land in Kenya is such a brutal history, and somehow there's a cross-section of leftists that think that the Mau Mau were bad. Oh, yeah, like, of course, like, listen, it's a tale as old as time, white leftists not understanding colonial power structures and abuses and stuff like that, but, yeah, you know, ridiculous. Are we still subject to the Court of Human Rights? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that's why they're trying to push the Bill of Human Rights bullshit, the new British Constitution, you know?
Joel Kimutai Bosek. We have no choice but to proceed to court for our client so that history can be righted. Solidarity with the Talai and Kipsigis tribes and all peoples worldwide engaged in crucial anti-colonial and anti-imperialist struggle.
Oh, we might watch that in a bit, Mr. Dank.
On August 22nd, the Haitian
that could be quite funny.
Party Petite Dessalines, or PD, organized a major demonstration against the rising cost of living and increased violence in the country.
See, this is why we're seeing that news on Democracy Now! Of, riot police and gangs, like, sort of like attacking protesters and stuff like that.
Today marks the 50th.
You know, literally, Haiti is feeling the material conditions worsen under capitalism, late-stage capitalism, climate collapse, looting capitalism. That is what the neoliberal governments of the world are doing right now. By the way, if you don't know, they are looting the countries that they are in charge of, because that's all that they could do while climate collapse is happening. Like, they know that climate collapse is going to result in revolution. They know that it's going to result in people basically understanding that the government don't care about them, and so they're trying to make as much fucking money as possible before that happens. What they think they're going to do with that money, I don't know. Maybe they're going to try and, like, evade the eventual communist uprising of a lot of countries and start their own new country somewhere, probably an ex-colony or something like that, you know?
51st anniversary of the Haitian Revolution, where enslaved Haitians organized
and
overthrew the veteran French military, giving the oppressed of the world a mighty example of successful struggle. Commemorating this day, PD led a number of marches from different neighborhoods to the Vertières Monument, and there were demonstrations throughout the country along with barricades set up along the main roads in Port-au-Prince. The crowd called for the resignation of Prime Minister Henry, characterizing him as a tool.
It's happening again. It's literally happening again. It's like Sri Lanka. It is just exactly the same as Sri Lanka.
Of the United States and the other big imperialist powers.
Let's go Haiti!
We are sending strength to PD.
Am I saying that right? Haiti. Haiti.
And the Haitian people
Haiti.
to keep up the
Let's go Haiti!
Ohio teachers, represented by the Ohio Education Association, have mobilized in 2 different school districts in a class battle against their employers. Again, on the 22nd of August, roughly 4,000 teachers came together in their state capital, marking the first teacher strike in the city since 1975.
Yeah, that's right, Prince, yeah.
The strike ended a week later when they were granted a 3-year contract including a 4% raise for the next 3 years, reduced class sizes, restrictions on outsourcing teachers to private corporations, and a commitment for climate-controlled temperatures in all areas of school buildings by 2025 to 2026. Teachers in the northeast Ohio town of Niles were set to go on strike on September 1st, but the day before, members of the Niles Education Association were able to pressure school board officials to finally offer a fair contract. NEA President Tracy Leadsom said the amount of solidarity we have seen from other union members locally and statewide has been overwhelming. The support we have received from the OEA, Ohio Education Association, and the NEOEA, Northeastern Ohio Education Association, is a true testament to why we belong and the importance of continuing to stand together and fight for what's right.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations to Ohio teachers. On Thursday, August 25th, under the banner of March in Defense of Democracy and Economic Reconstruction, over 1 million Bolivians rose up to ratify their support of the Movement Towards Socialism Party.
Let's fucking go!
The mobilization included workers from a vast array of sectors, peasants, students, and members of various indigenous organizations and social movements.
I think it's kind of wild that we're getting mass protests in fucking Ohio that's willing to dress in all red. Red Scare bullshit is finally cracked. Well, yeah, at the end of the day, I think people are understanding that, you know, Red Scare was bullshit, and I think that they're not scared to, like, dress in red anymore or even call themselves socialists and what have you. So, yeah, I think it is interesting to note that that's happening in the US of all places. But this is amazing. Like, you know, the indigenous support of socialism. Phenomenal. I fucking love this shit.
The march was organized by the Pact of Unity, a national alliance of grassroots organizations, and the Central Obrera Boliviana, the country's trade union center, in opposition to the far-right and capitalist
this fucks
to
so hard.
the government and its socialist economic policies.
Oh, let's go.
One example of such an effort was right-wing opposition leader Luis Fernando Camacho
shut up, you little dickhead!
attempting to provoke a coup d'etat against President Luis Arce. Those that participated in the mobilization in support of President Arce condemned Camacho and vowed that they would not allow another coup in the country like the one that was carried out in 2019 against former President Evo Morales. Incredible to see such solidarity among all sectors of the Bolivian working class.
Oh, this just fucks so hard. It's great. It's so fucking, yeah, I love it. Got complimented on your Commie Hilfiger t-shirt in a shop a couple of weeks ago. That's pretty based. If I can get Commie Hilfiger undies, my life would be complete because I can't afford Tommy Hilfiger for the fucking life of me. Do you know how much Tommy Hilfiger kecks cost? Things that you like get like shit stains and piss and cum in, right? You know. Tommy Hilfiger underwear. Full of cum, piss, shit. You know, get food in there if you're like me and you eat after sex. Like, 30 quid for one pair. 30 quid. With a 120-day return policy. But still, who's returning undies that are clean? How's that going to work? I can't believe it. £44 for some fucking kecks. Absurd. But they look amazing. Bastards. Absolute bastards. Oh, they're doing these. Oh, I legitimately love, like, hold up. These sets. I think these are, like, the best thing to have happened ever. Personally. I love these, like, bra and panty sort of, like, sports. So good. So fucking good. Honestly. It just, sorry, just a bit distracted there. one of the best things that they've ever created, honestly. Do you wear your undies during sex? Yes. You don't have to get your genitals out to have sex. Fucking smart ass. You ever seen one of these? Right?
The National Labor Relations Board has issued a decision in a case involving Tesla.
More than half a
NLRB
week's universal
has found
credit,
that it is
right?
unlawful to prevent employees from wearing union insignia, including buttons and clothing, outside of special circumstances. This decision came after Tesla enforced a new policy which mandated that employees only wear black clothing or clothing with the Tesla logo on it during a union drive. Wearing union insignia is a protected form of workplace communication. It's also a long-held tradition for communicating solidarity among union members. This case represents an important win for the accelerating labor movement across the US and a middle finger to anti-union Space Karen. Cuba and Italy are collaborating on a COVID-19 vaccine. Cuba invented...
That is so weird to me. Just the whole idea about this. Cuba and Italy. Like, is Italy gonna, like, continue with this despite having a fascist president? They're gonna, like, collaborate with actual communists? Is that what's gonna happen? I don't know. Half a laptop with 3 question marks in the chat. If anyone doesn't understand what this joke was all about, it's about fisting. That's what I meant when Cyberquaker. If we're gonna make the joke unfunny for everyone, when Cyberquaker says you wear your undies during sex, and I said yes, of course I do. You don't need to get your genitals out to have sex. Oh, you weren't confused about that? Okay, well, never mind. It can remain funny. Not a lot of people laughing at it though, so you know, maybe, I don't know, change your mindset. Like, it was a funny joke, and more of you should be laughing. You should see more laughs in the chat. Thank you, Blumhouse. That's good. That's what I want to see. Yeah, that's. Lorca Nagel says, I thought it was funny. Well, you weren't showing it, so I need emotes, laughing emotes, things like that. You know. Did you chuckle audibly? Right, good. That's good to know. You laughed, you just didn't say so. Right. Okay, Stuart Lee. Listen, I'm being better than Stuart Lee at the minute. He's not as funny as me in this. I'm a streamer. It's different. Thank you. This is what I want to see. Right. Quill! Oh my god!
We now have a stream, baby.
Quill, thank you so much for the 9 months. I'll emote more when I'm amused. Well, maybe just get a better sense of humor, to be honest. But yeah, thank you. Quill, thank you so much for the 9 months. Can I get a shout out for Quill, please? Please spare my family. No one's families are under threat of anything. These days in Britain, if you get arrested if you say you're funnier than Stuart Lee. Well, I hope not. Anyway, right, let's carry on. Thank you for the shout out, Shafiq. But yeah, this is weird. Like, what is this? Like, anyway,
5 vaccines
let's
to
find out.
contain the virus in the public sector, showcasing the output and innovation that is possible using collaboration in scientific research. The 3 vaccines that have been approved for use to date have almost 90% efficiency, among the highest in the world. The Cuban government has been working together with other countries to expand production of vaccines, and Italy is the latest country to join the collaboration.
I mean, that fucks, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's like Cuba has got some of the best medical healthcare workers in the world, literally going on planes, going to other countries, helping, like coming off the plane with, it's literally, do you know what it's like, chat? Do you know what it's like, right? Cubans go into like other countries that are like capitalist and like, you know, terror. It's like they're going into like a literal, you know, the pandemic again. It's almost like they understand the pandemic has not gone away. You know, they're there, they've got like K95 masks or whatever they're called, N95 masks on, fully, you know, docked up filtration nonsense and all that, right? The old joke, disaster occurs, the US sends soldiers, Cuba sends doctors. Right, exactly. It's that again. I'm just like, oh my god, they're treating it exactly how it should be treated. They're coming off the plane, they've got all the masks on. They're like, what are all you idiots doing with no masks?
Nicoletta Dentico, the head of the Global Health Program Society for International Development, stated this collaboration is a political initiative of great importance. It shows that science coming from Cuba is of value and the products are a very good standard.
That's true.
A European country doing this helps make space for Cuban products in the Western nations. The vaccine, which has been developed in the public sector and has a public patent, should not be limited to a few million people. We could not agree more. And more international solidarity with Cuba, a picnic held by the Portland and the Blockade of Cuba Committee gathered as part of an international effort to eliminate the Cuban embargoes. While Cuba has world-leading medical care, the blockade prevents them from getting necessary materials and parts that their healthcare system requires. Fundraisers have already been successful in delivering medical supplies to Cuba.
That's right, Mr. Dank.
Fundraisers are in the works to supply medical equipment to help treat victims of the Matanzas oil fire. We need to see way more solidarity and anti-imperialist action from activists like this in the imperial core.
189 countries are against the blockade. Literally 189 countries. That's a lot of countries. There's a lot of countries in the world, but 189 countries is a lot. You know. They're treating a public health emergency as a public health emergency. Right, exactly. Embargoes only hurt normal people. That's true. Yeah.
We turn now to a big win for fast food workers in California. After workers...
Yes, the picnic people not wearing masks kind of stands out, though. I mean, look, they're outside. All the science at the moment on COVID seems to say that being outside is a lot safer than being inside. So I understand if they were going to, you know... The fact that they met outside is actually amazing compared to, like, other leftist organizations, you know. So that's that. But I do understand what you mean, yeah. As soon as you sort of look at it and it's like, oh, my God, well, none of them are wearing masks. Fucking hell.
Strikes at over 350 restaurants across the state. The state Senate passed the Fast Food Accountability and Standards Recovery Act, which will establish the Fast Food Council, an industry council for the sector on wage standards and other regulations. The council would give over 500,000 workers a seat at the table on issues like wages, health and safety, the right to be free from discrimination and harassment, and more. The law is the first of its kind in the US, with workers in other states pushing to pass similar legislation, such as nail salon workers in New York. Workers are now organizing to collect signatures to create the councils, but the fast food industry is trying to overturn the law, claiming it will harm businesses. Lizette Aguiar, who has worked at the McDonald's in Los Angeles for nearly 20 years, said, "We're going to keep fighting. We have a lot of opposition, but we have to keep showing we want our union." The Atlantic business and technology workers have won voluntary union recognition. The union was recognized after their card count revealed a supermajority in favor
It will harm businesses good, right?
of unionization. This comes shortly after the editorial board of The Atlantic also won their union. This union represents 100 workers, and the new union's demands include increased equity and diversity in the workplace, better pay, and more opportunities for career development and growth. Congratulations to the workers.
I mean, one of the benefits of having like a, you know, a journalism union is that maybe we might actually start to see some actual journalism. Instead of client journalism or, you know, just unfounded nonsense and lies. Yeah, you know, that's one thing to look forward to other than people getting paid what they deserve. So, you know, good shit all round.
While the Google campus is famous for its food, the cafeteria workers themselves are generally contractors who work for other companies and are highly exploited.
Damn!
The labor movement has been making gains among cafeteria workers. This process has been slower in southern states. But this month, 4,000 Google cafeteria workers in Atlanta presented their manager with a list of demands and shared their plan to unionize. The same week, Sodexo, their employer, and the workers reached an agreement that should workers try to unionize, the company would not try to block it. The average unionized cafeteria worker at Google makes $24 per hour, and Sodexo's workers make only $15, all while housing prices in Atlanta have risen 18% this year. We are hopeful that we can quickly reach an agreement on a union contract that will bring these workers up to the same good standard enjoyed by union food workers at other Google cafeterias nationwide, said Dee Taylor, the president of Unite Here.
Sweet.
There is no doubt that the first negotiated contract will contain a pay raise up to the standard of other Google cafeteria workers. Congratulations.
Yeah, $24 is fucking dope.
And 2 major strikes have been averted this month as unions flexed and won new contracts. The first was the highly publicized planned National Railroad Workers strike in the U.S. The strike had the potential to majorly disrupt supply chains and cost the U.S. economy $2 billion in
We saw this. We saw this. We got the same footage as... Oh, it's from Democracy Now! It's literally from Democracy Now! The one. Like today, from today.
After 20 hours of
So I think Democracy Now! Have recycled some footage from last week.
negotiations, the strike was averted.
Oh, last
as
month
workers won
even.
a deal including a 24% wage increase and $5,000 bonuses, as well as important changes to existing policies on time off and set scheduling, which had been a crucial sticking point for workers who faced penalties for taking any time off. Incredible. And the second was the Lufthansa Pilots Union, who threatened a 2-day strike and won an annual pay increase of 8.2% starting in 2023, in addition to a 5.5% increase this year. The airline wanted to avoid
That's
a
pretty
repeat
based.
of what happened last month when ground staff went on strike, leading to 1,000 flight cancellations. Happily, the ground staff also won a pay increase. While the capitalists are making bank off of rampant inflation, what can I say but the union, my friends, makes us strong.
That's right. She's right, and she should say it.
Will now be free on all journeys under 300 kilometers or 180.
Oh. I love this for Spanish people. I love it. I love it for Spain. I love it for Spanish people. I love it when I see this shit in France for French people and Germany for German people. But you have no idea. If I could get on a train and a journey under 300 kilometers be free, I just don't even, I can't, it's like a world away. It's like a world away. I can't even believe it. Grant my people mass transit. So jealous. Hey, Mark, what's going on? Need to learn Spanish because at some point in my life I'm going to be moving to Spain or Cuba. Yeah, Spanish is not so hard to learn, you know. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, get on learning Spanish, peeps, because Spain and Cuba, holy shit, sounding pretty good. Sounding pretty based.
6 miles until the end of the year. The initiative began in an effort to fight inflation and the cost of living, and will be funded by a windfall tax on banks and energy companies that have profited from rising interest rates and energy prices. There are caveats in that the 100% discount is only available on repeat trips, and you have to pay a 10 to 20 euro deposit, which will be refunded at the end of
That's nothing. That's nothing. Even if you don't get it back, that's nothing.
The year if you've taken at least 16 trips. However,
I'd be taking 1 billion trips. Are you mad? I'd be taking 1 million trips if I could get them for free. If we had free train travel like that, I'd be having so much more sex. Same. Not that I'm, you know, but I would be. This positive leftist news has been exactly what I needed today. This is why positive leftist news is needed every month. You know? How far south could you get from Manchester for free? Let's work it out, chat. Let's work it out. We're figuring it out. How close could I get to London for free if that was what we had in the UK? So, map. Google Maps. Let's have a look. Right, so. Right, fucking hell. I'm just trying to figure it out now. So we've got Manchester. And then, where is it? Like Birmingham. Oh, fuck off. How do I do like a thing? Do I like put a pin down and then put another pin down? How do you do it? Drop pin. Oh, directions from it. Right, you do that. Okay. So let's try Leicester. Right, let's try Leicester. So that's 110 miles to Leicester. Let's try Oxford. That's 169 miles. Oh yeah, you could just get to London. You could get from Manchester to the Watford Junction. 208 miles. What's that in kilometers? 208 miles in kilometers. Oh, it's just over. It's just over. I think you're right. Watford Junction. I think I could get to Watford Junction and then pay like what, 10 quid to get from Watford Junction to London. You know? Genuinely. Remember that it's only free if it's a repeat trip, so if you're going to use it for sex, it needs to be very frequent and regular sex. Yes. That's right. It's like Hank Scorpio, but evil. Hank Scorpio was actually a good boss. Oh, God. Hopefully there's a day when we get positive leftist news every day instead of every month. Here's the thing, it's a mammal. I strongly believe. I strongly believe that if there was more resources allocated to finding it out, and if there was more, you know, media production companies that did stuff like this, or even more YouTube channels or Twitter channels and stuff like that, Twitter accounts that did positive leftist news, I guarantee we'd see positive leftist news every day. You just have to find it. Hey, Lithic Lyra, what's going on? Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. He invests in his workforce, yeah. Super villain. Anyway, I expect the transit authority will want you to provide proof of sex in order to honor the free ticket. Oh, funny. Yeah, I agree. Meeting friends over casual sex is your hot take today. Yeah, I mean, that's up to you. That's an opinion, innit? Do you know what I mean? You can't, you know, that's an opinion that's like, yeah, that's fine. You're allowed that opinion. You know, you could disagree with the opinion. And I agree. I would love to be able to see my friends more. But I would also prefer to have more sex as well. But anyway, whatever. You know the score. Let's carry on!
Hope that activists will be able to push for permanent changes to transportation costs. Free public transportation is essential not only for social and economic reasons, but importantly for dealing with the climate crisis. And a big thank you to viewer Julianne for writing a synopsis of this next inspiring story from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Although corporate media reported that only dozens of people participated, between 200 and 250 people demonstrated in support of early childhood educators, or ECEs, on September 8th. Unionized and non-unionized daycares organized together and marched in solidarity to pressure the government to finally give
let's fucking go.
professional wages that were promised 17 months prior.
This is true, Prince.
Waiting for their pay raise, at least 10 daycares in the city closed their doors voluntarily, while some that refused saw their staff participate regardless. Amazing. Daycares from all over the province outside of the city also demonstrated in smaller simultaneous rallies. With more actions being planned as we speak, major solidarity with early childhood educators in Nova Scotia.
Damn right. Love that for them.
Ministers in Sierra Leone have taken a major step towards decriminalizing abortion and overturning the country's colonial-era law. This
I wonder how. I mean, okay, I was about to say something incredibly lib just then, glib and lib. So yeah, obviously ridiculous for me to have even entertained this notion in my mind. I was about to say, how will Republicans be able to deal with the fact that Sierra Leone has got better reproductive rights than America? Because I've just remembered that they think that having reproductive rights is degenerate and evil. So they would be able to cope with that. So yeah, but it just really goes to show, doesn't it, that, like, you know, the way that we think of the world, the way that we've been taught to think of the world as white people in white colonial, you know, imperial core countries, is that like, oh, in Africa it's terrible, you don't have any rights, but this, that, and the other, and look at this, better than America for women, and people with vaginas, people with uteruses, you know, god damn it.
Follows the 10th African Conference on Sexual Health and Rights.
They would use it as racist propaganda, that's right.
1,000 feminist activists, government and UN personnel, and community groups met to discuss how to eliminate.
It's almost like colonial era laws that were enforced upon countries by colonizing imperial forces are horrific and were never what those people in those countries wanted anyway. Isn't that odd?
Eliminate sexual and gender-based violence in Africa. With some of the highest teen pregnancy and maternal fatality rates in the world, Sierra Leone activists have worked for years to expand access to reproductive health care, decriminalize abortion, and provide
let's go.
birthing.
Let's go.
The bill for risk-free motherhood has been backed by the president and the cabinet and is now before the parliament for approval.
Buzz in. Let's fucking go.
Mara said this is a landmark moment for girls and women in this country, and we would say all people as well. And it shows that we are now building a world where we can live in the most basic of dignities to make choices over our own bodies.
Let's fucking go. Buzz in.
The next one is a fun one, not necessarily a huge leftist win, but I think a palate cleanser nonetheless.
Oh yeah?
Holy shit, this may be the greatest Gen Z troll of all time. Seriously, stop what you're doing. This is a forced birther group in Missouri. They have an annual benefit every year. And this is the Gen Z resistance in Missouri. And they crashed that benefit. But it's not the fact that they did, it's how they did it. Resist played the long game. And they slowly sent in members to volunteer for them, a few at a time for months. They placed themselves on all different committees, including the benefit. They became in charge of seating arrangements, speakers, and then the benefit started. Just as the keynote speaker was starting, 2 Resist members created diversion outside, passing out lube and condoms. All the security went to handle them, and that's when this happened.
This is so good! This is so good!
Gen Z infiltrated so deeply that Coalition Life had to send all of their volunteers home, because they didn't know who was who. And the benefit organizer who told the cops to let the Gen Z kids go, she was one of them too.
Ah! That's so good! That's so good!
Fuck around and find out.
The state of New
That fucks so hard. Yo, this is why I've got so much faith in Gen Z. This is literally why I've got so much faith in Gen Z. That is so good. That is so... Listen, in the fucking 70s, if punks heard about that, they would have a fucking conniption. They would be like, Jesus, what the fuck? That is one of the most punk things I've ever heard of in my entire life. Phenomenal.
New Mexico is setting aside 10
kids are all right. That's right.
Reproductive health clinic near the border with Texas. The clinic aims to
Oh,
provide
that's
a
so good.
of reproductive health care and will be prepared for a large...
But again, chat, let's face it, right? You know why that was so good, don't you? Let's take a little minute to talk about that, because that's actually like so good in many ways, isn't it? Right? Let's take a little minute. I'm using my comb as a finger now. Let's talk about how, you know, that is so good, right? Because that was fully, what they did was fully legal, right? They didn't break any laws by doing it, and they sent an incredibly important message to people, right? By doing it. And it was acephalous. It wasn't like a specific organization or anything like that, was it? It was just literally like, or maybe it was. I don't know if I've read that wrong. Let's just go back to that. Oh, no, it was an organization. That's my bad. That's my bad. So it's not an acephalous thing or anything like that, but it is literally still just like such a good way of doing it. Because it's well within the law, and it completely destroyed any kind of effectiveness that event would have had, you know? I've been saying for years that people have really underestimated what the internet has done to us Zoomers, having access to the total sum of all human knowledge at the palm of our hand from an early age. Being able to talk basically anyone, anywhere means that a generation, the amount of perspective we've been able to have while growing up is insane compared to what our parents and grandparents has. Yeah, absolutely. And don't even... Listen, that's Gen Z. Gen Alpha is coming up now. What's going on there? How's that going to go? It did look acephalous to the infiltrated group. That's the thing. Yeah, it did. Kettling the reactionary response. Right, yeah. I thought that was fucking so good. I said this to my mum a couple of years ago. She said, I read the newspaper when I was your age. And okay, but we have access to the actual real-life Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's not the same thing. That's true, yeah. That's true. And as well, not only that, but millennials have gone through the kind of like hard work of going, oh, well, we have access to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but it's full of lies. And we have to kind of navigate the lies and figure out what's real and what's not. So we kind of went through that, you know, that sort of stage of it. God, the amount of fucking bollocks I read on the internet back in the day was so bad. I may not understand Zoomer humor, but I can't help but just cheer him on for shit like this. I love Zoomer humor because it's like abstract, non sequitur nonsense, which is exactly the kind of stuff that I like, and I've always liked it, and I've always felt like I'm kind of like a weird outsider in terms of my sense of humor. Like, I'll show people like shooting stars and stuff like that, and I'll show people like, you know, I think you should leave, and everyone's like, it's not funny, what are you on about? But it is. It's dead funny. It's hilarious. You know? Anyway.
And will be prepared for a large patient load of those seeking abortions from both Texas and Arizona, states which have banned or restricted the medical procedure. The executive order also directs New Mexico's...
So this is basically New Mexico. They've got a new abortion clinic that's going to take on people from states where abortion's been banned. This is what the story is for now. I think it's New Mexico.
Department of Health to ensure abortion medications are available in public health clinics, which would
same it's a mammal, yeah.
Reproductive health care in more remote and under-resourced parts of the state. Hopefully this goes some way in helping people from all 3 states access the care they need. The Catholic microstate
That's right, Sorka, yeah.
is set to legalize abortion. The San Marino Parliament has voted to legalize the medical practice with...
Whoa, what? The Catholic microstate of San Marino? What? Where the fuck is that? San Marino? In Europe? Is this that one that's in Italy? The Italian peninsula? Oh, it is! It is! What the fuck? Oh my god, Catboy Franz Kafka's back in the chat. I understand why he's been so quiet. Doesn't want to make as much of a ruckus as he did the last time he was here. Hello, how's it going? Still a big fan of your name. Yeah, like Vatican City, yeah. Yeah, it's this place. It's this place here. It's like Dogana and whatever. I don't know these places. Where is it in the grander scheme of things? It's near Rimini. Never heard of it. Perugia. It's near Perugia. And Florence. It's like on the coast near Bologna. Pretty nice. Well, there you go. There you go, chat. That's where it is.
To legalize abortion. The San Marino...
And that's huge. If it's like a mostly Catholic state, that's huge.
Parliament has voted to legalize the medical practice within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy with medical consultation, and after 12 weeks if serious fetal anomalies put the parent's life or health at risk. While this is not a completely emancipatory policy, it is an incredible step forward for one of the last remaining European...
Hey, Hero Toxico, what's going on? The boot buckle of Italy.
The legislative change came after a referendum was held last year where a whopping 77% of the citizens voted to overturn the patriarchal, outdated law. Elena D'Amelio, one of the advocates who collected signatures for a petition to hold the referendum, said, "We are satisfied. Before the new law legalizing it, women and pregnant people not only had to pay for it, you had to do it in secret."
Right.
The new law also provides sex
way more progressive than many US states. Way more progressive.
Education in schools and compensates anyone who travels to Italy for an abortion if, for whatever reason, they are unable to obtain it in San Marino. Congratulations to all San Marinese people.
That's dope.
The Republic of Malta is reforming their LGBTQ+ rights laws to include free gender-affirming surgery for trans people. The reform immediately followed the lifting of a ban on gay men donating blood. Malta's Prime Minister Robert Abella confirmed the change during Malta's Pride event on September.
Is Malta good? I've never understood. I thought Malta was like, have I been here before? I'm getting a deja vu when we've spoken about Malta before and it's based. And I always thought it was just like a place for like expats to go somewhere, you know what I mean? Because Malta was like a colony or something of UK, wasn't it? Can't remember. Or it was like an old territory and they've got independence now. I can't remember. Well, that's fucking dope.
10th, where he told a local radio station that even more queer positive changes are yet to come. In 2019, the country was named Rainbow Europe's best.
That's right, it's a mammal.
For queer travelers.
Time to move.
Right on Malta. And on September 25th, over 6 million Cubans in more than 23,000 polling stations.
Yeah, I thought it was a tax haven. Yeah.
To amend the family code.
Yo, hang on. 6 million Cubans. You know, chat, when we did, listen, you can go and watch on the VOD channel if you like. Check out the socials there. The VOD channel is the last link in the socials command. We did a whole fucking week of Cuba content at the start of the year. There was so much. We did so much on Cuba at the start of the year. Cuba's got one of the highest turnout rates for elections. Like you're having like a 99% turnout rate. And this shit feels good, man. Because it's literally just like so many people voted overwhelmingly to support this new law.
More than 23,000 polling stations held a referendum to amend the family code of the Cuban Constitution. The referendum passed in a landslide with 67% approval, propelling Cuba to make official the most progressive family code.
Amazing. Amazing. 67% approval.
67% approval, propelling Cuba to make official the most progressive family code in the world. This new code,
yeah, it was an ex-British colony, right?
Same-sex marriage, but equal adoption rights regardless of sexual orientation.
Malta was, yeah.
Recognizes the rights of transgender people, guarantees the right of all people to form family units without discrimination, recognizes the...
Oh, fucking hell. I felt the tears behind my eyes then, chat. Holy fucking shit. Huge. This is huge.
The rights of surrogate mothers and recognizes the role of grandparents in the family. It also extends labor rights to those who care for children, the elderly, or those with disabilities full-time. Oh.
It's literally one of the best countries in the world. How the fuck can the USA be there like, we're one of the best countries in the world? We're one of the best countries in the world, brother. And you've got Cuba with shit like this. Amazing. There's no homeless people in Cuba or anything. It's got one of the best democracies in the world, all the while under one of the worst embargoes in the world.
And it promotes comprehensive policies to address gender-based violence. Did we mention it?
Okay, so Alad Pink says, is that Lady Penelope's car from Thunderbirds? This is something that we learned when we were watching the Cuba content that you can check out on the VOD channel, right? And that is that because of the embargo that the US has placed on Cuba, lots of countries that if they want to trade to the... if they want to trade with Cuba, if they dock a port, like, you know, a trade ship in a port in Cuba, they're not allowed to then dock another ship, regardless of if it's the same ship or anything like that, in a US port in 6 months, for the next 6 months. So basically, they can't get any car parts, and they can't get any new cars. So all of their cars are literally from the 1950s. That is like a fact about Cuba. And so they literally upcycle. All of these cars are like all the fucking cars in Cuba are literally just from the 50s. This isn't even special. This isn't even like a special car, like a fancy car that they got for like a wedding or like a queer wedding. It looks like there's a queer wedding going on here. Like, it's not even, do you know what I mean? That's how you get car culture. Exactly. Exactly. It's fucking sick. It's so good, honestly. I just genuinely, like, blown away by this shit. My fiance's dad, who's Filipino, was telling me he's an American patriot with the best, and all I could say was, well, that makes one of us, because I promised my fiance not to go full commie on him. That's funny. Okay, but if you consider that they only have one brand of tomato sauce on store shelves. Do you know what? I was talking to my partner about this earlier today, right? I'm after, because I've started to find, chat. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is like a thing in my building or something. I don't know if anyone else in the UK who lives in like an apartment block could tell me that this is a thing. But I've started to find little specks of blue in my water, like that I drink in. Do you know what I mean? Actually, I haven't started it. It was, there's one in here now. You can't see it. You might be able to see it. I don't know. Hang on. Is there a way that you can see that? I don't know if you can see. There's just like a speck of blue in the middle. Like there. And I don't know what it is. I'm just drinking it because what choice have I got, right? Do you know what I mean? And so I'm looking for Brita filters, right? I've got like a Brita filter, you know, a Brita thing. It's like, I didn't buy it. I got given it by my mum. She was like, do you want one of these? I was like, yeah, right. So I don't know if this is microplastics. I don't know. It might be something to like help the, I don't know, like chlorinate the water or something. I don't know. Pipes melting, it could be. I don't know, it could be. But anyway, so I'm trying to use my Brita filter because I don't want to be drinking that. I don't know what it is. And then I'm like getting on to like, you know, to the internet and being like, right, I need to find filters for this specific thing. And there's like 5 million different kinds, and I can't find which one's got the right fittings, it's got the right like bits in it that will go in my filter, and I've got no idea what it is. And I'm just sat there the whole time thinking, if we lived in communism, like in Cuba, and there was just one type of water filter, it'd just be so much easier. You could just go on the internet, be like, I need one of them, and get it. Nonsense. It's just fucking nonsense, innit? Do you know what I mean? And I think that all the time. I think, like, tomatoes. Like, it's like what Lorcan said. Like, oh, yeah, tomatoes. Like, wait, oh, they've just got one type of tomato sauce. Why do you need more than one type of tomato sauce? Why do you need more than one type? What, it's all the same. It comes with the same fucking fruit. What you want about? Bizarre. Oh, you know, this week I'm going to get Napolina peeled plum tomatoes. They're completely different to Tesco's own brand peeled plum tomatoes. Yeah, I'm a big fan of just one product done really well. You know, I think about this all the time. Like, you know, listen, this is a rant, obviously, because of my own personal material conditions. But there's, like, things that I need for the flat. Do you know what I mean? There's things that I need for the flat, like a table, for example. And I'm like, should I get a table from IKEA, or should I just get a day where me and my dad make a fucking table? Because it'll last longer. Like, that's what I'm like thinking, like, I'm going to have to build a table for myself because I don't believe in the, you know, the solidness, or what would you call it? I don't believe in the longevity of products under capitalism. You know, it's like, whatever. Like, what, just, you got to make it yourself. I don't know. It's just nonsense, innit? I literally only buy the cheapest own brand tomato sauce or chopped tomatoes. Same. Like, why would you... You know? I see people saying that shit and I think, yeah, Heinz is the only baked beans brand I eat. What's your fucking point? Exactly. Exactly. So many brands of pasta. If you can build it yourself rather than buying it, always build it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Cook your own sauce at home. You could do that as well. Yeah. Most semi-recent Brita cartridges are Maxtra, I think, and you can get some cheaper 2-month dupes online because the originals are heckin' expensive. Well, I ended up getting them ones in the end anyway, person type thing, because I had no idea what I was looking for, and that just looked like the most common one. So hopefully, if that's gonna work, that'd be great. I often go around the block and look for furniture trash. That's one of the most depressing things as well, when you see like people throwing out perfectly good furniture just because it's old, and it's like, oh god. A lot of IKEA furniture, especially the really cheap stuff, is laminated, layered laminated paper. Listen, I found that out, right? I found that out the last time, because this table here that I'm on is that, right? It's literally that, you know? So it's like, I had a little bit of this table that came out, and I moved this desk. It used to be in my bedroom in there, right? But I moved it in here when I started streaming and stuff, yeah? And then, like, right, you know, you got, like, this bit that comes out, and I don't need it in here, and I need more room, so I took it off. You know, I got my tools out, and I took it off, I unscrewed it and all that, and I was like, right, I'll make my own table, and I started to saw into it, yeah? And it's just cardboard! It's not even wood, it's cardboard! It was like layered bits. It's exactly like Lorcan was describing there. It was like layered cardboard going like that. I was like, this is a joke. This cost 120 quid. You could get cardboard boxes for free. What's happening? You know, oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, right, rant over. I'm done.
It outlaws corporal punishment and greatly expands the rights of disabled people. This code just keeps
That's right, cornbread, yeah.
Congratulations to the Cuban people, and thank you for showing the world the power of direct democracy. More prisons in Michigan have been slated to close as the prison population declines. Activists have been working to close these prisons for years, some for decades, and we are—
It's just paper, it's just paper. 120 quid, that's right. Red Rock Panda.
DJ Mule Egg, DJ Mule Egg, DJ Mule Egg.
Thank you so much for the DJ Muleg. 38 months, 3 years of subbage. How are you doing, Red Rock? Gonna get a shout out for Red Rock Panda, please, Shafiq. Thank you so much. But yeah, oh my god. And also gonna get a shout out for Reva Sharkbait. But yeah, fuck prisons. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's just take a look at this bit of news again, because I think some people might have missed it. Also, I do want to point out Birdie's point, because Birdie made a great point. Yeah, we do have to remember that people do have special dietary needs and shit like that. I'm certain that Cuba, with its healthcare being as good as it is, accommodates for people with dietary needs. But you're absolutely right. Some of that stuff does get left out of leftist conversations a lot. So yeah, just wanted to bring that in. £1 billion for the papier-mâché furniture. I can't believe it. Anyway, let's check out this next bit of positive leftist news.
More prisons in Michigan have been slated to close as the prison population declines.
Let's go!
Activists have been working to close these prisons for years, some for decades, and we are so glad to see it. Michigan currently has 32,000 prison inmates, which, although being 32,000 too many, is still the lowest in more than 30 years. While this decision was logistical, activists will continue to push for a much more radical transformation. Disarm, defund, dismantle, and abolish.
Hell yeah, let's fucking go.
Denny Tamaki, the incumbent governor of Okinawa, known for his staunch opposition to U.S. military presence on the Ryukyu Islands, has won a second term in office. His
Let's
victory
go.
reflects the continued opposition of the Okinawan people to U.S. military troops and infrastructure, which are sources of pollution,
Get 'em out.
exploitation of local women, political corruption, and have the potential to drag Okinawans into unwanted conflicts across the Taiwan Straits.
Get him out!
Tamaki, who himself is the child of a U.S. Marine who abandoned his Okinawan mother before being born, said, "My commitment to resolve the U.S. military base problem for the future of Okinawa has never been shaken." He vowed to continue to deliver the will of Okinawans to the Japanese central government. Though local governments have little say in diplomatic and military affairs, solidarity with Tamaki and the Okinawan people who are continuing to do whatever they can to resist U.S. occupation. Hasdeo Arand, one of central India's largest intact forests and the location of the country's
Mr. Dank, that's amazing about that couch. Fucking hell, 10 years.
is gaining increased support and inspiring mobilization from people in cities and towns across the region.
Oh shit!
In April, news of deforestation attempts in the area sparked outrage and protests. YouTubers, artists, and students also lent their support, with the hashtag #SaveHasdeo trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
Calling for the end of all coal projects in Hasdeo Arand, as they will cause irreparable damage to nature and...
This is it. This is the shit. Right here. You know what I mean? It's literally just like, stop fossil fuel infrastructure before it begins. Do you know what I mean? Get in the way of it. Take apart the fucking machinery that they use to build it. And all that shit. It's a piece of piss. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, if that stuff's illegal where you're from, don't do that. I'm not fucking advocating for that. Don't break the law. The law's the arbiter of all morality, as dictated by the terms of service that I have to adhere to on twitch.television. However, that is how easy it is, folks. You just basically stand there and you go, no, you're not building that here. You're killing the planet.
And the indigenous communities living there. Alok Shukla of the non-profit Chhattisgarh Bachao Andolan said the protesting communities were tired and often wondered how long they would have to fight. But this surge of support has strengthened their resolve and given a boost to their movement.
Let's go!
This month, California passed a bill that includes restrictions on oil and gas drilling and a ban on the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2030.
Restrictions is not good enough. It's not good enough. Restrictions are a stopgap at the most to the actual legislation, which should be ban. It should be a ban on new oil and gas drilling. Like, why? Why are they just fine with that shit going on? It's just so fucked. Ban on the sale of new gas-powered cars. That's not going to make any fucking difference. Sorry, it's not. You know, everybody wants to buy an electric car. It's the same kind of pipe dream as, like, you know... There's a lot of pipe dreams around climate change, right? But electric cars is one of them. If everybody in the world changed to electric cars overnight, not only would we run out of lithium, right, but we would also not make a dent in climate change. It wouldn't affect it. Wouldn't affect it at all. Because they're getting made by the fossil fuel infrastructure that's there. You know, it's not enough. It has to be everything. It has to be fucking everything. Anyway.
35. As one of the largest auto markets in the world, hopefully this move will signal that the age of the individual gas-powered car may be over sooner than we think. And in a historic victory for the people of the Wild Coast, a South African court declared unlawful and revoked the right given to fossil fuel giant Shell Oil for oil and gas exploration in the ecologically sensitive region.
Oh yes, let's go!
By Judge President Selby Benenge of the High Court in Makanda. The verdict is the culmination of a months-long legal battle built on years of struggle by indigenous and fishing communities and environmental activists to defend the Wild Coast against resource extraction and exploitation.
Fucking brilliant.
Zukulu from Sustaining the Wild Coast said the fight of coastal communities versus Shell is a struggle for environmental justice, for the protection of rural livelihoods, for sustainable development, and for all life on the planet.
Oh, so good.
Heartfelt gratitude and congratulations to activists from the Wild Coast.
Oh, look at that shirt. I fucking love that shirt. That's so good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great. Just like the Shell logo, but with a fucking bird. You know what I mean? That fucks so good. So good. Oh my god. We need a whole transit and sustainability overhaul. Fuck the highway. Literally washed away twice where I used to live within the last year. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like people just think like, oh yeah, just build more roads. It'll solve the problem. But it never does. It never, ever, ever does. We need solid, in every country in the Imperial Core, we need solid rail infrastructure, bus infrastructure, all that fucking stuff. Not necessarily bus infrastructure because roads already exist. That technically counts as bus infrastructure. But you know what I mean? Public transport and the means for working class people to get to use it, right?
Comrades, if you have good news from the current month, please send your stories to totalliberationpodcast@gmail.com.
You know what to do.
Javi for the positive news jams. Thank you to Cosmo for the positive news background. Thank you to Catherine, Nick, Jacob, and Seb for script writing help. Thank you so much to JC for editing this video, and to me, I guess, for doing a little bit of everything. Thank you, as always, to our glorious patrons who make the show possible. To help us expand our team and our output, please go to patreon.com/positiveleftistnews.
Support him,
give us a
chat.
one-time tip or donation. The link is in the description box below.
You heard her. You heard her, chat. Phenomenal. What a great positive leftist news. Fucking love that. Always important for us to, you know, get the positive leftist news in the system. Don't forget to subscribe to PLN. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to play the video again in a muted tab to support our comrades. Very, very, very important. Very, very, very important that we do that, and very, very important that I remind you to do that as the streamer. So yeah, that's that, chat. PLN deserves way more views. It really does. Yeah. Actually, no, Mule, we could do with more bus infrastructure because we should be transitioning to trolley buses. Tram-style power lines for to power fully electric buses instead of having them run on their own engines. Yes. Absolutely. They do have a Patreon. Yes, that's why I let it play. Yeah, you can check out the Patreon as well. Excuse me. Oh, my God. Ugh. Don't mind me. So, yeah, that's that. That's that, chat. Now, unfortunately, I have to go. It's another kind of like early sort of short stream today. Apologies for that. It's because I've got the plumbers coming tomorrow and I need to get an early night, and I also need to finish cleaning the fucking bathroom because it's gross. So I need to do that. So fear not, I will be taking you on a journey to a wonderful other leftist stream. Now, Survided, I know that you have some problems joining us on raids, but I encourage you to stick around because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link in the chat before we go to the said raided channel. Gotta be ready for the plumbers tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, cleaning sucks. I appreciate that. I'm gonna have a good night. I am, because it's not. I've not got much left to do, and then I'll just relax and have me supper. But let's have a little look. Who can I go and raid and show some love to? God, just so many people. Who am I gonna raid? 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 I think I'm gonna go and raid Sleepy Dan. Or did I raid Sleepy Dan last week? No, I didn't. Okay, right. We're gonna go raid Sleepy Dan. Sleepy Dan's playing Overwatch 2. If you don't know what Overwatch 2 is, it's basically just Overwatch 1. So that's that. But come with me for the raid. Use the raid command. Copy and paste the raid command in the chat there. If you are a sub, use the first one. If you're not a sub, use the second one. Thank you so much to everyone who's been here tonight. It's been a great stream. And I really appreciate everyone who's been here. I really appreciate all the subs. I really appreciate all the donos, all the raids, all the follows. Thank you so much, everyone, for everything. Thanks for all the chat. Thanks for just being here. And thanks for lurking. Not thanked lurkers in a while. But if you're desperate for more Mule, the socials are there in the chat right now. You can check them out. And check out the VOD channel. I'll also check out some of my YouTube channels. Some of my YouTube videos as well. Aslan Silver, you cheeky boy. Coming in at the end. Go and follow Aslan Silver, everyone. He's fucking mint. There he is. There's a shout out for him. Right, I'll see you tomorrow, gang. Stay excellent to each other. Mwah. Peace, 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 peace.